95.5 WSB.
Welcome, friends, to an action-packed edition of the Mark Arum Show. I'm thinking like Rush Hour 3 action-packed. That's how much stuff we have to get to today. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Just a couple of minutes. Judge just mentioned the story. Big argument in the Supreme Court. We're going to break it down with Stephen Portnoy in just a couple of minutes. 30 minutes from now, we're live to D.C., the latest on the narco boat story. Marjorie Taylor Greene, by the way, gave a huge interview. I think it was like 15 minutes long. That's a big interview for 60 minutes. Eric Erickson's going to join us live at 10:35. Break that down for us. To me, this was the most important piece of the interview yesterday.
Doesn't matter how many times I say it. I'll have face-to-face conversations with people, and I'll flat out tell them to their face, and they won't believe me, and they're like, oh, yeah, sure, and then wink at me, and I'm like, okay. It's just like I don't know how to make it more clear.
That's her saying, I am not running for president, senate, governor, anything. So that was interesting because we've always been, at Deborah, since she announced her surprise resignation, like, what is she going to run for now? She unequivocally says, I am done. I am not running for office. So Eric Erickson's going to join us live. And in a little over an hour, Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Barry Manilow. He was on the show last week or the week before. He'll be at the Gas South Arena on January 16th. So a little more than an hour, your chance to win those tickets. First off, congrats, Georgia fans. What a great weekend. Stomping Alabama. -3 rushing yards. You heard from Eric Zeier there. The Bulldogs will have a bye in the playoff game. But I don't want to neglect the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets going to a bowl game, Judd, that I never heard of before. The
Pop-Tarts Bowl.
The Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Yes.
Yes, playing BYU, Brigham Young University. Where is the Pop-Tart Bowl held, by the way?
It is in Orlando, of course.
Orlando.
I was really hoping Tech got that because it actually is very hokey and very fun.
I'm a fan of Pop-Tarts. I was deep into my 30s before I actually had a toasted Pop-Tart. I would just eat them raw through college. But so that's good. You got to be happy you got a bowl. And
I'm happy, and it's on a Saturday afternoon, so
right.
I can watch it.
Anyway, go Dogs. We won't mention the NFL franchise in our beloved city. Another rough weekend there. Speaking of rough weekend, so I had a great weekend. It was awesome. The highlight, of course, Deborah, Clark's Christmas Kids kicked off. I went to I did a drive-by at the Walmart on Mansell Road in Roswell. Went there, saw EVH and Brad Nitz and Clark and Shelley smiling. Myself, Ashley Frasca, and Alex Williams all went by. Great to see some listeners really get you in the... And I was like, they were just jammed. Like, there were so many volunteers and so many people buying gifts. And then I go to clarkschristmaskids.com this morning, and they still need over 18,000 gifts.
Did we refresh that? Did we update it?
I refresh it, right now. Needed gifts, 18,710. Like, we were at 20,000 on Friday's show.
Now, did they catalog everything
I
from
don't
the
know.
weekend? That's the thing. They
I don't
might
know
not have had a chance to
logistically,
do
but
that.
that's, again, there's 10,000 kids in foster care this year. It's a record number, and a record number of gifts. That the pricing, it's $50 more per kid. So do the math. That's $500,000 more this year than last year that the Clark's Christmas Kids need. So go ahead and donate now. Go online to WSBRadio.com. Click on Clark's Christmas Kids. In-person events, again, continue next weekend, Saturday in Duluth, Sunday in Marietta. I'll probably be at both. I can't stay away. Like, I was not required to. I wasn't on the schedule, Deborah, but I was like, we went out to brunch with the traffic folks for Ashley's birthday, and then we went to Clark's Christmas Kids. And I would have stayed longer, but... you're familiar with that area, right? You North Fulton.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So I'm looking for a new car, and there's like 7 car dealerships on Mansell Road, and I'm like, oh, I'll go to Clark's Christmas Kids, bask in the cheer, and then I'll go test drive some cars. You're saying it's Sunday.
It's Sunday, yeah.
Why are car dealerships closed on Sundays?
Maybe the Lord doesn't want to drive
Is
on
it
Sunday.
a religious thing?
I think it's just maybe they want the day off for their employees because, they are open every other day with the service departments and stuff like that. Maybe that's just the one day that they get off. Usually you can wander around the lots. You just can't buy anything or talk to somebody.
Yeah, well, I wandered around a lot, and I was actually like, I pulled up. I was going to the Volvo dealership. I'm like, let me test drive a Volvo. I've always wanted a Volvo. And I see this guy walking in the parking lot as I'm getting out of Sanjay's car that I'm now driving. And I'm like, hey, is this open today? And he's like, man, I work at Honda. I was like, oh, he's just cutting through the Volvo parking lot. I'm like, are they closed today? He's like, yeah, they're closed today. I'm like, what about Honda? He's like, yeah, we're closed today too. let me open the phones real quick. I just want to know, is this like an old Georgia blue law? Is it a religious thing? I don't want to, if it's a religious thing, fine. But to me, like, I'm off on Sunday. I want to go buy a car. I would think Sunday would be a day.
No Hobby Lobby, no Chick-fil-A, no buying a car.
All right. So if anyone knows, 404-872-0750, the backstory on why car dealership, and maybe it's just Mansell Road. I don't know. Maybe it's a Roswell thing. A Roswell blue law.
I think at least from where I remember living in dealerships, they're usually closed on Sundays.
But wouldn't that be the prime day to sell cars? Is on Sunday?
Well, they're probably losing a lot of business because of church. So that morning crowd's not going to go out
So
there.
open at noon.
Well, I mean, I guess
you have
so,
plenty
but-
of people that go to Mass at noon or service.
All right. Well, I was like, oh, this is great. I've got the day off. I can browse all these lots. I can take all these test drives and offer. It's my fault for not. I just assumed that Sunday would be a great busy day at car dealerships. If anyone knows why, please call and let Vinny know at 404-872-0750, 404-872-0750. And I don't want to step on any religious toes. If it's a religious reason, then, but I was stunned.
I thought it was something like, you know how you used to couldn't buy alcohol?
Yeah,
here?
like a blue law.
Yeah, I feel like it's in the same line of that, but I'm not sure.
All right. Anyway, they lost. I would have bought 9 cars yesterday on Mansell Road. They all
Just like Oprah.
Exactly. I would have bought a car for everybody. They all lost out. All right. Big day at the Supreme Court today. Joining us from ABC News, our buddy Stephen Portnoy. Stephen, Supreme Court going to hear arguments today that could have a rippling effect on independent agencies regulating policy. What exactly is this case all about?
This case is all about what's known as the unitary executive theory. The president and his aides believe that no matter what Congress intended in the setting up of these so-called independent agencies, such as the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, Consumer Product Safety Commission, any other kind of independent agency that was stood up with bipartisan leadership in mind, where you'd have Republicans and Democrats serving on a commission. The White House believes that that whole structure is unconstitutional, that when the founders had a government in mind for the United States, they set up 3 branches. The legislative branch would make the law, the executive branch would implement the law, and the judicial branch would weigh controversies. And what they did not envision, the argument goes, is a sort of independent, separate entity of government that would be sort of in the middle between the branches and sort of responsive to the executive, but really sort of responsive to no one, because it would be appointed, you'd have leaders appointed in it, and those appointees would carry over between presidential terms. And that was Congress's intent when it created these agencies. But the White House believes that essentially all these agencies have to be brought under White House control, that the president has the executive authority, and that this administrative state should not be able to stand alone on its own island. And they don't even believe in the idea of independent agencies. So this case today that the Supreme Court is hearing this morning gets at this 90-year-old precedent dating to 1935. Federal Trade Commission's more than 100 years old, but in 1935, Franklin Roosevelt is disappointed that he wants his New Deal policies to be implemented by these agencies. The FTC was dragging its heels. He didn't like the guy who ran it. He wanted to fire him, even though Congress said that the head of the FTC could only be fired for malfeasance, neglect of duty, inefficiency in office for cause. And, well, Roosevelt fired him anyway. The guy died, but after he died, his executor of his will took the case into court, and the Supreme Court ruled in 1935, Mr. President, you're wrong. Congress does have the power to say that there needs to be a limitation on your ability to fire these people. And that's, Congress makes the law, and this is the way they've written it. Well, for 90 years, that's been the law, but it's been eroded ever since. And over the last few decades, last decade in particular, the Supreme Court has said, no, the president makes the appointments under the Appointments Clause. Congress should not be able to tie his hands, and the president should have the ability to fire people in the executive branch. You've seen this all year long. This president's tried to remake the federal government in his own image, and the Supreme Court has mainly either looked the other way or given its approval, except in rare instances. For example, the Federal Reserve Board, mainly.
This all started when President Trump tried to remove Rebecca Slaughter, a Democrat, as a member of the FTC. So that's the initial case that brought this to the Supreme Court. And as you mentioned, President Trump's had a series of victories in the Supreme Court. And just the way I'm hearing you lay out the stories, I think, I don't want to, make a guess here, but it sounds like he might find 6 votes again on the Supreme Court on this issue.
Yeah, we're going to get a sense of it at the oral argument today, how the justices are leaning, through their questions. They often telegraph their sympathy for one side or the other, and we'll get a sense as to where this case will wind up. But it's everyone's expectation going into this that these conservative justices who have been appointed to the court have themselves been adherents to this philosophy over their careers in the law, that, the Constitution makes it clear executive power comes from the president. The president is directly elected by the people. The people did not vote for the heads of these agencies. And therefore, the president should have the power to swap in people who he wants, who will carry forward his policies, and get rid of people who are sort of holdovers who would stand in the way. And the adherents to the unitary executive theory do not apologize for this. They say it's exactly what the founders had in mind. And, the other side of the argument is, well, okay, but you just remember, we had a spoil system through the 1800s. It didn't work out great for the country. And some pretty wise people decided back in the late 1800s that there should be some limits on the president's power to hire and fire and give jobs to people he favors. And there ought to be some continuity in the way the federal government operates from administration to administration, the way the rules apply to business so that they can plan and not to worry every 4 years about adjusting to whoever happens to be in power. That was why these independent agencies were created with this structure. Well, we're going to find out how much longer that'll be able to continue here.
Final quick question for you, Stephen. Arguments this morning. Do you know what the turnaround time on a decision might be?
Well, there's no way to predict exactly when the Supreme Court will rule, but a case that's been heard in December, we could see a decision maybe early to mid-spring, or perhaps they'll hold it for one of the last and most high-profile cases of the term in late June or early July.
Stephen Portnoy, ABC News. Stephen, great stuff as always. Thanks for your time.
Hey, you bet.
I've got a prediction on what the Supreme Court is going to do in January with this decision, and my take on this issue as a whole. But I'll do that after a break. I want to get on we had the phones lit up on why car dealerships are closed on Sunday here in Georgia. I had no idea. Matt's up first on the Mark Arum Show. Matt, why are these dealerships closed on what I would think would be a pretty big selling day?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, buddy.
Okay. It's pretty simple. Really, since COVID, people are just lazy. The dealerships, like as far as your parts department and your service department, they've always been closed on Sunday. But sales, for years was open on Sunday. And it's the simple fact that people are too lazy to work, so they don't have enough personnel to work.
So it's staffing issues. So you mentioned COVID. Were dealerships open on Sunday before COVID?
Yes, they all were, and some still are.
Okay.
Some still are. I recently bought a vehicle on a Sunday at a dealership down in Noonan not long ago, but not all of them are open on Sundays anymore. And it's just, I hate to say it, but since COVID, when the government gave out money, people are just too lazy to work.
Laziness. All right. Not blue laws or God. Laziness, says Matt. And again, it's my bad. I should have done my due diligence and see if they were open on Sundays or not. Nick's down in Tyrone. Nick, welcome to the Mark Arum Show.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I was a car dealer for 11 years. I'm from South Florida. South Florida, all the car dealerships are open on the weekend because that's when they make most of their sales.
I would imagine, yeah.
Sundays, I think it's more of a religious thing because even before COVID, there was a lot of car dealerships that were not open.
Yeah. Can't get a chicken sandwich or an SUV.
Yeah, I moved here in 2005, and I noticed the car dealerships, a lot of them are closed on Sundays.
All right.
I think it's more religious reasons.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate Nick saying it's God, not laziness. Tucker is up in Cherokee County. Tucker, you bought a car yesterday?
Absolutely, over in Paulding County.
Was it like a dealership or like a hot stolen car? What did you buy?
No, it's a dealership. I got it from Cherokee Ram and Dodge and Jeep over there next to Hardy Chevrolet.
So they are not lazy and not religious.
I guess not, 'cause I got me a beautiful 1500 Dodge Ram yesterday.
Oh, nice. Congratulations. Used, new, lease, what are you doing?
Brand new, sir. 2026. 10 miles on it.
Congratulations, Tucker. That's fantastic, man. Drive safe out there.
Thank you.
All right. So maybe I just had to go up to Paulding County. Gavin and Alpharetta, you're going to have the last word. Gavin, welcome to the Mark Arum Show.
Hey, Mark, I don't work for a dealership, but something that's even more inconvenient than not being able to buy a car on Sundays is taking your car into the shop and not being able to get work done on my only day off.
Yeah, I think some independent shops are open on Sunday.
Yeah,
Deborah.
I usually do stuff if I need, but there may not be a dealership, but some independent shops will be open on a Sunday.
Yeah,
up in Alpharetta, it's tough to get done.
Yeah, it was.
Hey,
we had a whole strip of dealership. It was like a ghost town. Everyone, you know what? They closed because it was Clark's Christmas Kids. They're like, we don't want to, steal Clark's thunder, so we're going to close all these dealerships. Selah. I'll try next Saturday to buy a new car. All right, speaking of cars, let's check the current condition of the automobiles on the roads. Hello and good morning to Mike Shields.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Got a crash working right now in the left lane in Marietta on I-75 southbound, just before South Marietta Parkway, exit 263. I expect they're going to block all lanes and get this over to the right shoulder once Georgia State Patrol arrives, so watch out for the delays that will grow quickly in Marietta, trying to get down to Truist Park and 285, and delays starting to grow into Cobb County as you work your way into Stonecrest and Lithonia with left lane roadwork setting up I-20 eastbound past Panola Road. This support is brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies, and service to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples, that was easy. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
When we came up with the idea for Clark's Christmas Kids 35 years ago, I told myself we were going to help every foster child across the state. But we need your help. To find out how you can make a child's Christmas wishes come true, visit WSBRadio.com.
A special thanks to our friends at Scana Energy, Rocco's European Garage, and Finlay Roofing for their continued support of Clark's Christmas Kids.
Hey, y'all, it's Belinda Skelton, and many of you know I've been talking about the amazing folks at Four Seasons Home Care for quite a while now. So many of you have asked me questions about if home care is right for your aging parents. So I brought in my expert, Deborah Barron of Four Seasons Home Care. Okay, Deborah, the main thing that people ask me is, how flexible is home health care? Do I have to lock into a long contract?
There's no binding contract. We just have a service agreement that you would sign, and there's nothing that locks you into a plan. So we try to be flexible to follow the needs of your parent. Some of our clients start with just a few days a week, and I think that's a great way to ease into things.
Now, Deborah, I know that my parents needed a lot of care. They needed 24-hour around-the-clock care. But I'm sure some clients only need help preparing meals, things like that. How does Four Seasons Home Care deal with that?
Yes. So a big part of our process, and I believe the most important one, includes a home visit from our registered nurse. And she is going to sit down with your family member and go over everything and see exactly what you might need. Some people may just need a little bit of care, and others may need more in-depth, hands-on care. So they are brilliant at laying out a plan of care that's tailored for each situation. And I think you really need that kind of customization to ensure your parents get exactly what they need.
Folks, if you have aging parents who are clear that they want to age in place in the comfort of their homes, I cannot recommend enough the experts like Deborah at Four Seasons Home Care. It's 100% free and is such a crucial step in getting your parents what they need for their care, and allows you, the child, to do your role, and that's just love them and be there for them. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
Take advantage of Zerez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning's holiday sale today for carpet cleanings at just $40 per room. And the star on top, when you schedule 3 rooms, add a staircase for just $1. Slots are filling fast, so easily schedule online at ZerezAtlanta.com.
We weren't planning on selling our home, but our family's needs changed. I'm Caitlin, and selling our home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate was the best decision we made for our family. With over 11,000 5-star reviews, I had peace of mind knowing I could trust Mark Spain Real Estate to sell our home fast and for more than we were asking. If you're preparing to move, check out Mark Spain Real Estate's guaranteed offer. Go to markspain.com and see what their guaranteed offer would be on your home. There's no obligation. That's markspain.com and start packing.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
It's the end of the year. Time to look back and reflect. Look at all we did. But look at all the things we meant to do, but never actually did. After all those tipsy New Year's promises, you didn't join the gym. You didn't get around to reading War and Peace. And apparently, you didn't do anything about this garage door that's still not working right. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A quick repair will get your garage door back in shape. no matter how much you eat. No crazy diets, just a smooth, quiet door going up and down like it should. And after all of your friends have bailed on their gym memberships, you'll have a garage door that works like a charm for several New Years to come. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and I'll throw in my copy of War and Peace. I mean, who am I kidding?
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
For a Breda healthy home, bugs, critters, and all their nasty germs need to go. Breda is also proud to sponsor Scott Slade's Georgia every Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs. Come, they told me,
Are you saying that the president now is siding with those establishment powerful people and against MAGA?
He passed a crypto bill that helped out all the crypto donors. He has served Israel's interest, even attacking Iran.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, is it MAGA or MAGA? Leslie Stahl just called it MAGA. I always call it
MAGA.
MAGA.
Yeah.
Is that
Where's
just,
Shelley? He'll know.
Is that the highfalutin way to say MAGA?
That pinky up.
MAGA, yeah. Having your tea, MAGA. Anyway, Eric Harrison is going to join us live at 10:35. His reaction to the long interview Marjorie Taylor Greene gave to 60 Minutes last night on CBS. Real quick, I want to circle back to the Supreme Court case today concerning the executive power and appointing folks onto these various committees. And I have no doubt that the Supreme Court is going to side with President Trump on this. And when they do, Democrats are going to, scream and shout. But I think behind closed doors, they're like, that's fine. Because they assume they're going to get the White House back again, and they want their person in the Oval to appoint their people to all these commissions. Now, what I think is going to happen long term, because Stephen Portnoy mentioned, FDR took to the Supreme Court and they slapped him down, and that's been the precedent. I think what's going to happen is we're going to see just the change of appointments. So right now, like the Fed chair has an appointment that transcends two administrations, two election cycles. A lot of these are. I think that's going to change. I think the new rule is going to be you're elected, you get to pick all your people. And there's no holdovers from the previous administration, because that's what this is all about. President Trump wanting to fire a woman from the FTC that was appointed during the Biden administration. Her term goes over into his administration. So while there's going to be hand-wringing, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the Supreme Court is going to side with President Trump on this. I think they're just going to have to change the rules and regulations on it. And there'll be no more that's weird, the inter-presidency appointments. So it's going to be 4 years, just like the president. 4 years, 4 years, 4 years. That's my prediction on what's going to happen. There is another big Supreme Court case coming up, birthright citizenship. We'll go in depth on that a little bit later on the show. When we come back, though, live to D.C., the latest on the narco boat story. Social media is up and active at Mark Ehrman at WSB Radio.
We are here with CFP Matthew Decker of the Vincent Financial Group and host of Retire ATL. And Matt, you've said that income is the outcome that matters the most in retirement. But what income streams require the most attention?
Yeah, so if you've got a pension or if you're living off of Social Security, you kind of know those income streams show up in your mailbox. That's mailbox money. It's almost like you're still working, and it doesn't really require that much attention. But most people that come into the office today, they are having to use their 401ks, their IRAs, SEP Simples, 403bs that are invested in the market to generate income. And anytime you're going to use a market-linked asset where you have to go in and decide when you're going to buy and sell to generate your income, it takes a ton more effort, energy, and attention to get that piece of the puzzle right. But it doesn't actually have to be that way.
So, Matt, the number one fear of adults in retirement is outliving their money. How do we get started building income today?
Well, you can get started today. You'd call us for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement roadmap. We want to build a GPS for you that's going to help navigate retirement, and it's going to have a focus on building and preserving income. 770-280-1488. We've got a representative standing by to talk to you right now, 770-280-1488. Our home office is in downtown Woodstock, but we are available across the metro Atlanta area to meet with you at a time and place that fits your schedule. Again, 770-280-1488 or online at retireatlradio.com.
The team at Vincent Financial Group want to help preserve your assets while building retirement income that lasts as long as you do. Call today for your complimentary retirement roadmap, 770-280-1488. And you can always get more at retireatlradio.com and join us for Retire ATL Sundays at 6 p.m. right here on WSB.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
Weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Our top story, boys, the story we've been watching closely around Metro Atlanta. A vote today by the DeKalb County School Board could help decide the fate of one of the district's oldest school buildings.
The proposed changes to Druid Hills High School would come with a hefty price tag, potentially up to $185 million. The issue's been brewing since students released a video more than 3 years ago showing what they describe as unsafe conditions.
Human waste tends to flow up and flood this area right here. These signs right here say do not touch the poles or the outlets, right? Because we are at risk of electrical shock.
Under the current plan, the historic 1927 building would remain, but some surrounding facilities would be replaced. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
It is currently 44 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says we are now in a dry pattern as the rain moves out this morning, but it will be chilly. The high only getting into the mid-40s as the wind picks up. Could hit the freezing mark tonight. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Watching another vote tonight as well, this one in Tucker, where the fate of a pair of trail projects designed to improve mobility may be decided.
Tucker's long-planned 2.5-mile North Lake Trail would link downtown Tucker to the North Lake Mall area with a cost of about $20 million, much of which is potentially covered by federal grants. The city also seeking funding from the Atlanta Regional Commission for the first phase from 2nd Street to Brockett Road. A second proposed trail from Hugh Howell Road to the South Fork Peachtree Greenway has an estimated budget of $6.5 million. Both trail items are on tonight's consent agenda, with the meeting starting at 7 p.m. Graham Kell, 95.5 WSB.
Well, they've been popular additions, at least for some here in Atlanta, but there's more questions surrounding Waymo and its self-driving taxis out in Austin, Texas. Apparently, they don't stop for school buses as the law requires out there.
In a statement, Waymo's chief safety officer says, while we are incredibly proud of our strong safety record, holding the highest safety standards means recognizing when our behavior should be better.
Transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve says Waymo insists there have been no injuries from this glitch, but it's issuing a recall for those in question to analyze their performance. Well, we should know later this week if we'll see another interest rate cut before year's end as the Federal Reserve holds its monthly meeting. Reporter Lisa Rosner says it comes as many Americans continue to struggle.
Economists say holiday spending is growing over last year, but at a slower pace. Americans face higher prices without seeing more in their paychecks.
She notes a recent survey finds 46% of Americans believe the cost of living in the U.S. is the worst that they can ever remember. And it seems the art of flipping a home is not quite what it used to be.
Home purchases by investors in the U.S. rose by just 1% year over year in the third quarter, according to Redfin. House flippers and corporate giants are finding it harder to turn a profit, with 8% of homes sold by investors selling for a loss. With elevated mortgage rates and home prices still at highs, flippers and landlords are paying more while earning less. In Atlanta, 18% of all homes sold in the third quarter were bought by investors, keeping that percentage flat year over year. I'm Bloomberg's Dan Schwartzman for 95.5 WSB.
It's 9:33 as you check your money. Good start on Wall Street. All major industries are well up so far this morning. Now live team coverage of traffic and weather. Starting the WSB 24-hour traffic center and Mike Shields.
Judd watching a crash on the Jam Cam in Marietta, I-75 southbound just before South Marietta Parkway exit 263. Marietta fire now with this. That means 2 left lanes are blocked and delays starting now the south of North Marietta Parkway. You can always use Highway 41 or the express lanes if you have a Peach Pass. That will save you time. Speaking about saving time, you're going to need to use Covington Highway to avoid I-20 eastbound into DeKalb County, where once again, left lane roadwork setting up and the delays start 3 miles back at Westlake Chapel Road, getting past Panola Road where that roadwork's at, making your way through downtown. Just sluggish, but no crashes. 7585 southbound from 17th Street, getting past Georgia Tech and Williams Street. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Cloudy, drizzly, and breezy today, high 46. Clear and cold tonight as temperatures fall into the low 30s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, high 49. Sunshine and warming up on Wednesday to the mid-50s.
It is 41 degrees right now in Cumming, 45 in Stockbridge, 43 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
We only want to be around people who think exactly like us.
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
God forbid you actually converse about the world.
Eric Von Hessler.
Smash and conquer, my friend.
Eric Von Hessler.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I reviewed the IG report, and it's a nothing burger. The fact is there was allegations.
Republican Senator Eric Schmidt from Missouri saying the IG report on that narco boat strike, a nothing burger. We'll get the latest on that developing story live in D.C. 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
Been wanting a new deck for your home, something that's built just the way you want it? But you're scared to pull the trigger? I can help you with that. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations. Right now, Ben Hill Renovations are offering special financing. No interest if you pay in full within the 18 months promo period. You're welcome. Visit bhrenovations.com today and schedule a free design consultation at your home. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
What if every home had a touch of magic, where every device was connected by an invisible force? No, it's not wizardry. It's the most intelligent Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Hey, it's Mark Arum back with you, folks. Wi-Fi so brilliant it knows when to boost speeds to the devices that need it most, making the Emerald City Sparklify for your Wicked Watch party, or instantaneously pause any device without the tap of a wand, or grant your devices the power to protect against threats at home and online, keeping you safe from mischief. And right now, you can cast the spell to stop time and keep your internet price steady for 5 years, guaranteed. Plus, you get Wi-Fi equipment included, no contracts or commitments. Sure, it all feels like magic, but it's really intelligent Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Xfinity, imagine that. And do what I did and see Wicked for Good, only in theaters. Really, really great movie. Restrictions apply. Select plans only. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. Details at Xfinity.com.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we are solving the unsolvable. Our transplant experts are using new technologies like machine perfusion to increase the number of usable organs, reduce waiting times, and allow more patients to receive life-saving liver, heart, kidney, and lung transplants. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic, you know where to go.
They didn't want to confirm. They didn't want a realist in place. They didn't want to shift from their pet projects around the world and trying to build democracies in the sands of the Middle East by the barrel of a gun.
That's Senator Eric Schmidt out of Missouri. I just played a cut earlier. Him called the IG's report on the narco boat strike a nothing burger. Still in the news. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, actually 35 minutes, Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Barry Manilow. And then at 10:35, Eric Erickson's going to join us live, breaking down the Marjorie Taylor Greene yesterday on 60 Minutes on CBS. Speaking of CBS, joining us live from the nation's capital, Aaron Navarro. Aaron, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Mark, thanks for having me.
It was such a busy weekend. I'm sure a lot of listeners, didn't keep up with the narco boat double tap September 2nd strike, but Pete Hegseth was out and about on the lecture circuit and made some comments on it. Where does that case stand right now?
I think where everything looks forward to now is whether the video of those September 2 strikes will be released to the public. We know that it has been shown to military officials, of course, as well as some members of Congress. And you've seen Democrats on Capitol Hill continue their calls for those videos to be released. Secretary Pete Hegseth said recently that the Defense Department is reviewing whether they're going to do that and release it to the public, saying that they still have to determine whether revealing that video could endanger ongoing operations. And you saw the strikes on these suspected narco-terrorists and drug boats continue over the weekend, with Secretary Hegseth announcing the latest one just on X.
Yeah, and we had that classified briefing, right, with the Admiral, with, I believe, the intelligence committees or maybe the defense committees on Congress, and they saw the senators on the committee saw the video, and they came out, and it was like a tale of two cities. Democrats were saying it was the worst thing they've ever seen, and then we heard from that Republican senator from Missouri saying it was a nothing burger. Is the truth somewhere in between? And do you think we'll ever, as the general public, get to see that video?
We will see. The President, Trump, has actually said before that he is willing to release that full video, but that he did not know the full scope of what it included. But you're right in that we've seen it kind of fall along party lines in terms of people who saw that video on Capitol Hill. That you have seen some Republican senators say they don't really have a problem with that video coming out as long as it doesn't jeopardize anything that's classified. You saw Republican Senator John Curtis of Utah say over the weekend on CNN that he just wants to, quote, err on the side of transparency. So there are plenty of legal questions here on these strikes, but the optics on whether the video gets released is something that I'm sure Republican and Democratic senators will continue to be asked about going into this week on Capitol Hill.
Aaron Navarro from CBS News joining us live in D.C. here on the Mark Arum Show. In the meantime, it doesn't seem the administration is going to slow down, as you mentioned, with these terrorist narco boat, alleged terrorist boats being struck by the military. We've got the largest aircraft carrier group now in the Caribbean. Any movement on whether or not this is going to go from the sea to the land?
That's been something, as a White House reporter, that we've heard President Trump tease almost for months now, though that has not happened. We do know that he has spoken to Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, and it seemed that was an okay talk, but the president has continued his criticism of him. But we will see. As of now, it seems that they are going to continue these strikes on the sea. Ever since that September 2 strike, there have been many, and up to 90 people have been killed as part of these strikes since then.
At the beginning of this, when this first popped up in the news, Aaron, there was some bipartisan support for continued investigation and clarification and transparency. Is that falling by the wayside? Are more Republicans jumping on board, or is it still just the few that started this?
I think it's getting some traction in terms of, when a Republican senator is asked if they're for transparency, it's kind of rare to hear them say that they are not in regards to the video of the strike. But I think there is more transparency that Democrats are looking for in terms of the reasoning behind the strike in terms of on a legal basis. You saw congressional Democrats continue to push for essentially a memo that detailed the reasoning behind that September 2 strike that's gotten so much focus. They've requested that a memo from the White House on that be released. As of now, that still is, classified.
All right. Aaron Navarro, CBS. Aaron, as always, appreciate your time, my friend.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
There you go. 9:42 on the Mark Arum Show. I just think the news cycle is so intense. It's like a tornado. It's just the stories churn and churn and churn. And we've got 2 Supreme Court cases. We got Russia, Ukraine. We've got affordability. We've got all this stuff that I don't see this gaining much more steam. I think eventually that the video will be released and Americans will be able to make up their mind. Was this an act of war, or was this just, hey, it's war? But I don't see, we had those first couple of Republican senators say, hey, whoa, let's pump the brakes on this. But I haven't seen a bunch jump on board. In fact, after they came out of that classified briefing with the admiral, who probably will be the fall guy, if there is a fall guy in this, not many people have jumped on board that. So it's an important story, especially if we wind up going into a full-fledged war, ground invasion of Venezuela. So I just wanted to update that. I do want to update a couple of local stories. I feel bad for the unsung heroes here in Metro Atlanta, the folks that just sit in traffic every single day to and from work. You know who you are. You are unheralded. You're the real American hero. What was that beer commercial? True American hero. I don't know how you do it. If my trip in the morning and I come in early, but if it's delayed by 3 minutes, I lose it. I'm like, what is going? So I don't know how you do it. You are stronger than I am to do these ridiculous commutes and bumper-to-bumper traffic. And that's not so much the distance. If I had to drive an hour into work and there was no traffic, I'd be okay with that. as opposed to a 30-minute drive that's all traffic, I would pull my hair out. New data's in, Deborah, on how much time we spend here in Metro Atlanta in traffic. And again, kudos to everyone that does this on the daily, because I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, so anybody that commutes here in Metro Atlanta, which is 9 counties, you would know better than
13,
I do.
17, I don't know.
Okay, well, a lot of different counties make up Metro Atlanta. The average people commuting spend about 87 hours per year just sitting in traffic due to congestion, not like an accident or weather or anything like that, just everybody else on the road.
That's the average. That's not the outlier.
That's the average, yes.
That's insane. That's 2 full work weeks. And then 7 extra hours, your boss makes you stay late. You got to have a meeting. Your boss makes
It's always
you...
the meeting.
87. You probably have the longest commute of all of us, Longoria, because you have to get the girls off to school and everything.
It's about an hour every day, to and from.
How much of that is in traffic?
All of it.
How do you still have your hair?
From the time I leave to the time I get here, there's traffic.
I don't know. I mean,
it's on an average. And like there's some days that it'll take me an hour and a half each way.
Yeah,
and that's a 3-hour time for each day.
And how do you do you have a stress ball? Do you?
As soon as I get home, I tell everybody, "Hey, what's going on?" And I go upstairs and I lock the door and
That's
I turn
what you
on
do
some
when
music.
You get to work.
I turn on some music and I chill for like 30 minutes.
But in that traffic, going 3 miles an hour, stop and go. Are you listening to music?
Oh yeah,
I
have to listen to music.
The Mark Arum Show podcast?
No, no, not that.
What would you listen to the Grateful Dead, like ocean sounds? Like how? I don't know how. I mean, I'm not. I really respect the fact that you do that.
Yeah, it's just music. I mean, just something I like, something that I'm gonna.
Could you deal with that,
my
Deborah?
head to.
I mean,
I've commuted several times. Not an hour. I always try to live a little closer, but like 40 minutes, which was enough for me. When I had a different job and I lived in a different house, it was that day every day. But same thing, you put on the right music. Sometimes it's Limp Bizkit break stuff. Other times, it's Radiohead.
Yeah, it depends on how.
Yeah, it depends on what the
Pixies?
traffic is. Sure, Pixies, a lot of Arctic Monkeys. Yeah,
that's insane. 87 hours a year.
and they're saying that there's no like rush hour anymore. Like there used to be a rush hour in the morning and there used to be one in the afternoon. Now with post-pandemic, everyone's lazy, right?
I see it coming out of here.
Now it's
home.
just all day long because people have flex schedules.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I tip my hat to all of you that can do it. One other local story, Deborah. BioLab, we've got a lawsuit filed. This is a lawsuit not for, we're talking about the BioLab fire out east with the big story, the plume and all that. It was a horrible situation. This lawsuit, it's not from a resident or anyone. It's an insurance company suing BioLab.
Yeah, an insurance company is looking for $20 million because they're suing BioLab and the owners that are the parent company that owns BioLab. This is Verlin Fire Insurance, and they said that they're suing for $20.3 million because BioLab failed to have the protections in order. Like they should have had a better fire suppression unit, and some of the things that this other company was covered were damaged because of BioLab. So say your house was on fire and it was backyard coals or something, that's your liability. But if it's everything from BioLab's fault, they're supposed to cover it. So this fire insurance is saying, we got all these premiums we have to cover, and it's BioLab's fault that this fire happened.
All right. So you said 20 plus million?
$20.3 million.
$20.3 million. Interesting. All right. When we come back, I watched it, so you don't have to. The Diddy documentary, The Reckoning, on Netflix. I'll give you my reaction and tell you whether or not you should watch it after we check traffic at 9:47 on the Mark Arum Show. Any big backups now, Mike Shields?
Yeah, still watching a crash, Mark in Marietta. This is about 30 minutes old now. 75 southbound at South Marietta Parkway, exit 263. Fire department just pulled away, so down to one left lane. We did have two left lanes blocked, and the delay starts just south of Canton Road, Highway 5, exit 267. So you can avoid that using express lanes via Peach Pass or Cobb Parkway. A new stalled vehicle in the center lane in Gwinnett County, 85 southbound, getting past Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104. The support is brought to you by the Danny Did Foundation. The Danny Did Foundation expands epilepsy care in memory of Danny Stanton, who was lost to a sudden unexpected death in epilepsy. If you or someone you know has seizures, visit DannyDid.org for resources. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
In Atlanta, there is always something happening.
Tanker truck crashed into the median.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
No traffic getting through in either direction.
Helping you on your commute.
Avoid the area at all costs. Take Highway 155 or Highway 4223.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Dave Baker here for Artisan Custom Closets. Ever misplaced a box of holiday lights that you're pretty sure you used to keep in the attic until you remembered you put them in the garage, maybe underneath the junk in the corner? Wouldn't be that way if you had Artisan Custom Closets upgrade the storage space in your garage. Your decorations would be neatly packed and stacked until next year. Schedule your free design consultation today with a certified master artisan designer at artisancustomclosets.com and reward yourself with affordable luxury over the holidays. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Mark Aram here for my friends at Renters Warehouse. Fall is here. The kids back in school. Time to take a quiz. Question 1. If you already own a house with a low interest rate, what's the best way to get even more value from it? Answer, rent it out. Renting already delivers cash flow, appreciation, and tax benefits. Now it allows you to keep that low interest rate, and hey, you can always move back in if you want to. Question 2. With Renters Warehouse, do you have to find tenants, collect rent, or handle maintenance calls? No. Renters Warehouse does it all for you. That's why they're Atlanta's leading real estate investment services company. Final question. Do you pay Renters Warehouse a percentage of the rent or a low flat monthly fee? Answer, a low flat monthly fee. For just $115 a month, you can outsource all your management headaches to them. Now, to pass the test, I need you to do one more thing. Go to rwatlanta.com today, book your free home rental price analysis, or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
During the holidays, there's a lot of coming and going. With loved ones spreading cheer, your garage and entry doors will be working overtime. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Merry Christmas. Thank you for choosing All Four Seasons to cover every entry point in your home. Garage doors, entry doors, and windows. We're proud to be a local, family-owned company built on honesty and customer service. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Maybe you haven't heard about us. We're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless has you paying for more data than you might need. Why? They might want you to cover the costs of younger people who do use all that data. If you're not using the data, you're probably being used. We've heard time and time again that some Big Wireless customers get stuck paying hundreds and even thousands more for years and years because they think it's hard to switch. Not with us. It takes just about 20 minutes and you can change your plan anytime without extra charges. We use the same towers as the big guys, so you'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Our plans start at just $20 a month, and for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Imagine all the people living on today.
45 years ago today, John Lennon was shot and killed outside his New York apartment. These were fans gathering nearby, singing his memory. I remember that day vividly. I was 6 years old, almost 7 years old, and I was at my buddy EJ's house, lived down the street from me, and his mom was in tears. I've never seen an adult cry like that. I was like, what's going on? And she was so emotional about John Lennon's passing. Speaking of music, so I watched the Diddy documentary this weekend on Netflix. It's called The Reckoning, I think. The Reckoning. I I would watch it, Deborah. You're in the music biz.
You think so?
Yes.
All right.
So I learned a lot of stuff about it. Like even before getting off to the freak-off parties.
Freak-off parties. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
So the first 2 episodes basically were about the rise of Diddy. And I was in New York during the rise of Diddy. I remember seeing posters for, Puff Diddy party at Roseland, or I was there.
Sure, that was the era that you were living in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I lived through it. I didn't go to any of these,
You didn't go to the freak-off parties?
No, well, this was he started, it was interesting to me, Vinny. You watched it. So he started as an intern at this record company and just became invaluable. Like the beginning of his story, like Vinny, not you're an intern, we're paying you. But the rise of Diddy, it was kind of inspiring. Like he came out of nowhere and built himself into this industry.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. The one thing I had learned that I never knew about was that whole fiasco with the basketball game.
Yeah.
Like I had
I remember
my
that.
mom, and she's from New York, and she's like, "Oh, I remember that vividly." And I'm like, that's crazy.
Charity basketball game.
Yeah.
And it was oversold, and there was a mob, and 9 people got stomped. I remembered that. But honestly, I don't remember Diddy being a part of that.
But that's that's where his name came from.
So it was very interesting. But to me, and again, this is all before we get to the
freak-off parties.
It was the rise of Diddy and what he did to the industry. What I didn't know is how, and again, this is, people might think this is a one-sided documentary. It's produced by 50 who doesn't like him, but power is corrupting, whether it's in the music business or politically or what. Were you shocked at some of the things alleged before we even get to the freak-off parties, Vin, about some dastardly deeds he allegedly perpetrated on his rise to power?
Yeah. I don't want to spoil. I'm not a spoiler guy, but. Such as the lady talking about, the letter that was written to the mom or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
Joy.
Yeah.
Just insane.
What hurt me the most, and again, you got to take it with a grain of salt. We don't know his side. Again, even before the infamous freak-off parties, was how he sold his buddy down the street. He started Bad Boy with one of his best friends, and his best friend had 25% of the company.
Yep.
And then Diddy basically forced him to sign over the 25%, which would have been, $600 million, $800 million, $1 billion, I don't know. And that dude became homeless later on. And the lack of empathy, and it's just, it showed, my biggest takeaway was power is corrupting. Because when you get to that level of power,
you can do anything.
You think you're Superman.
Yeah.
You think you're bulletproof. You think you can get away with anything. And a lot of the stuff alleged in this documentary, he got away with. The whole Biggie, Tupac, everything. It was, I found it fascinating, Deborah. I think from the music industry perspective, you would enjoy it.
You're not the first person to tell me that. I had to watch a Jeff Buckley documentary this weekend, but I'll get around to it. I will.
I feel really bad for Cassie.
Of course, yeah.
That's the.
I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
I missed the beginning of it.
Freak-off parties.
Yeah, once it gets into the last episode and a half, dealing with the current day stuff, that poor girl. Anyway, I'm not telling you to watch it, but it was interesting. At least watch the first 2 episodes to see the rise to power and how power can corrupt. All right, speaking of power, I don't know, Russia-Ukraine war, we got some movement there. We got some meetings today. We'll get you caught up to date on that. And Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Barry Manilow. All next on The Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
This is Scott Slade from iRoofer, FGA Roofing. Are you starting to consider a new roof but not sure if it's needed or what it might cost? FGA Roofing offers their free drone assessment. You'll know if it just needs a fix, a rejuvenation, or a new roof. They'll quote you a price, and if you mention you heard about it on the radio, they'll take $1,500 off the quote, and that quote's good for a year. And with your good credit, you could take advantage of their 000 offer. 0 down payment, 0 payments for 18 months, and 0 interest. Take the first step now and set up an appointment. Google FGAroofing.com.
In the winter, Mama Bear and I prefer a cup of warm Earl Grey with lots of honey over our usual cool glass of sweet tea. And just like our tea choices, Scana Energy also has great options for every family, no matter the season. Yep, their dependable natural gas service keeps our home warm and our cups of tea piping hot. Sign up with Scana today and save up to $100. Call 877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com/warm for details. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply.
Pain has a way of stealing the moments that matter the most, especially during the holidays. Not just your knees, back, or shoulder. It's your time with family and friends. But in 2026, that could all change when your body remembers how to heal. It just needs a little help finding the way back. QC Kinetics here in Atlanta believes relief doesn't have to come from surgery or pain pills. They use your own body's natural healing abilities to repair and restore what's been lost, helping you move, live, and feel like yourself again. It's your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery, just your body remembering how to feel alive again. QC Kinetics delivers long-term relief. Finally, make the new year your turning point where pain stops defining you. Schedule your free consultation today. Now's a great time to use your HSA and FSA for treatments. Call 770-285-8026, 770-285-8026.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Let's start with your money. Wall Street waiting to hear from the Federal Reserve later this week on what it's going to do with interest rates, and it seems consumers are piling up credit card debt, but at a slower rate than last year, perhaps due to uncertainty.
Wallet Home says U.S. shoppers added $16 billion so far, which brings the total credit card debt to over $1 trillion. Still, the additional amount of credit card debt is 27% less than what was added last year.
Mark Mayfield says the average credit card debt per household headed into the holidays tops $11,000. Home flipping was big business for a while, but things have now changed. According to Redfin, it's harder to turn a profit now with higher home prices and higher mortgage rates. In fact, 8% of homes sold by flippers are selling at a loss. Here in Atlanta, 18% of all homes sold in the third quarter were bought by investors, keeping that percentage flat year over year. As we take a look at the markets, the Dow's in negative territory, so is the S&P. The NASDAQ is up, but only slightly here in the 10 o'clock hour. All right, your weather for today, mostly cloudy, breezy, drier air is moving in. Winds gusting up to 20 miles an hour, afternoon highs around 46. Bone-chilling cold from the Great Lakes to the northeast this morning after a chaotic weekend for air travelers blamed on weather-related delays. They got more than 17 inches of snow in Chicago. And speaking of snow, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas at the state capitol. Happening right now, Governor Kemp and the First Lady are hosting the annual Christmas tree lighting at the state capitol. The massive tree has been installed inside the Capitol Rotunda. I believe our very own Clark Howard is there for that tree lighting. WSB's Jonathan O'Brien is covering it for us. Overdose reversing medications will soon be in every Georgia school. Commissioner Kevin Tanner of the Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disability says funding for the Narcan kits is coming from the state's opioid abatement trust.
We have over 2,300 schools in Georgia, so we're going to make sure that all of those schools have a box that's clearly designated for the school nurse's office or the school principal's office that has 2 doses of Narcan along with some other supplies.
And as part of this program, state officials say that they will provide training resources to ensure that school staff are prepared to respond in case of an emergency and has to use those. Now, the Tucker City Council expected to vote tonight on whether to approve a pair of trail projects designed to enhance mobility.
Currently in the final phases of the design stage, the Tucker North Lake Trail is a planned segment running 2.5 miles from downtown Tucker to the North Lake Mall area. Its $20 million budget includes engineering and right-of-way acquisition costs. The trail is eligible for up to 80% of the cost covered by federal dollars. The smaller Greenway Connector Trail has a total budget of roughly a third of the Tucker North Lake Trail. That segment goes from Hugh Howell Road to the South Fork Peachtree Greenway along Bibb Boulevard and Tucker Industrial Road. Tonight's meeting starts at 7 p.m. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Happening now, the Supreme Court hearing arguments today in a case that tests President Trump's power over independent federal agencies at issue whether or not the president has the authority to fire a Democratic-appointed member of the Federal Trade Commission. There is a law intended to insulate the FTC from political pressure. Legal correspondent Jan Crawford is following.
Democrat Rebecca Slaughter's term on the 5-member Federal Trade Commission was supposed to last until 2029. Then President Trump, who first appointed her in 2018, fired her in March.
The message is do exactly what I want or you're going to lose your jobs.
Slaughter sued, arguing that Congress designed the FTC, which investigates things like corporate mergers and consumer fraud, to be bipartisan.
Be sure and stay with us or check back for updates as we continue to follow that story. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca is joining us now from the WSB 24-hour Traffic Center. Good morning.
Good morning, Sabrina. Keeping an eye on some construction zones this Monday morning on Highway 316 eastbound. Crews are in the right lane at High Hope Road. That's causing delays before Buford Drive. Highway 20. Crews are also out on the East Freeway. I-20 eastbound past Panola Road. Careful of that in the left lane as you roll outbound. And better news in Marietta. Crash has cleared 75 south near the South Loop. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly cloudy, breezy, and cool today. High 46. Clear and cold tonight. Lows in the low 30s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 49. Sunshine and warming up to the mid-50s on Wednesday.
It is 44 degrees right now in Riverdale, Loganville, and Norcross. We'll have more news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Monday morning to you. Mark Aram here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Aram Show live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The Core 4 with us today. Deborah, executive producer of the program. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Vinny Drip screens your calls. Coming up in 12 minutes, going to give you a chance to win a pair of tickets to see Barry Manilow January 16th at Gas South Arena. Eric Erickson joins us live at 10:35. Want to pick his brain about what he took away from the long interview yesterday between Marjorie Taylor Greene on 60 Minutes. And 11:35, Josh Sisco from Bloomberg News. That big story that broke last week, the Netflix merger with Warner Brothers. Is that something that's going to happen? And if it does, how might it impact us as consumers? Speaking of us, so excited, Deborah. People are starting to tag me on the Mark Aram Show Christmas cards. They're getting them in their mailboxes.
Good, yeah.
I love that. If you received one, tag me on social media. I'd love to see him at Mark Aram, MarkArum.
And I do not have any extra.
Yeah, there's no extra. I've got the extras.
Yeah, but even so, there's like, what, 10?
Yeah,
there's not a lot
many.
of extra.
There's not many. So yeah, I love that you got them. I love that we do that. And Deborah, you went above and beyond this year. Everyone's saying this is the best Mark Aram Show. It might have to do with Fred Blankenship.
I was going to say it's because Vinny and Fred are on it. Yeah,
Vinny and Fred make the Christmas card. All right, I want to update the Russia-Ukraine war as efforts continue on the diplomatic front to end the Russian war with Ukraine. Russia continuing its relentless military campaign against civilian and infrastructure targets. More from BBC's Joel Gunter in Kyiv.
The people here were already living with extended cuts to power and heating. Those are worse now than they were before after a couple of nights of heavy strikes. We're talking days with relatively little access to power, just a few hours per day for many. The same goes for heating. As we come into the depths of winter, it is very cold here in Ukraine.
And apparently, Deborah, the infamous Chernobyl plant has had some sort of a protective dome on it to prevent radiation leaks, and that it has been struck by Russia in this Russia-Ukraine war.
Yeah, so after the whole meltdown in the mid-'80s, right, I vaguely remember in elementary school,
Yes.
big deal, right? So they had to put all this containment stuff around it, and they spent like billions of dollars putting this protective dome so that the radiation levels couldn't go out anymore. Well, apparently in some of the missiles that Russia's been firing, it's struck this confinement dome is what they're calling it. And so now it's damaged to the point where Ukrainian officials are like, this is not going to function the way it needs to. We got to do some damage control because we have to see what it's going to be like if radiation is going to come out or not. We don't know what's going to happen after that.
What's crazy is, and we've talked about this a bunch, is the wildlife around Chernobyl. There's fungus that is now eats radioactivity.
Yeah, the blue dogs.
Yeah, like there's some crazy stuff going on there. But anyway, we've come a long way from that original 28-point peace plan. Elena Trine at the White House this morning updating Russia-Ukraine talks.
Oh, absolutely. That meeting with Zelensky in London, I should note, he's expected to meet with the French president, with the leader of Germany, and also some other European leaders as well, including the British Prime Minister. Look, I mean, that's going to be a show of solidarity of sorts with Zelensky after these harsh comments from the president. And you said it best, Kate. I think hot and cold is definitely a fair way to put the president's posture toward approaching this war overall, and particularly his posture toward both Ukraine and Russia. Now, those comments that the president made, essentially accusing Zelensky of not fully reading the U.S. proposal on this, potential peace plan, it comes as we know that a marathon session of talks on Thursday in Miami between U.S. officials that included the president's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, as well as his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and then Ukrainian officials. Those talks sort of stalled and broke down a bit. Some of the key sticking points, just to go through where we are in this entire discussion, relates to security guarantees, territorial issues, and the continued concern that perhaps the U.S. proposal is still is offering too many concessions, I should say, for Moscow. One of the big sticking points is the Ukrainian surrender of key territories in the Donbas region. It's those security guarantees, of course, that I told you about. That's going to be a high priority in these talks today that Zelensky is having with European leaders. This idea of Ukrainian permanent, no membership for NATO, essentially. This idea that they could permanently agree to never joining NATO, that's been a sticking point. And then also this proposal for Ukraine to limit the size of its military. That's what we are hearing, Kate, that are still kind of keeping these negotiations at a place where people are very much unsure how to move forward here. And adding to all of this is what you mentioned, the president's own son, Donald Trump Jr., saying at a conference in the Middle East that potentially the president could walk away. Listen.
President Trump is going to walk away?
I think he may. What's good about my father and what's unique about my father is you don't know what he's going to do. You don't know. And so that forces everyone to actually deal in an intellectually honest capacity.
So as you heard there, him kind of putting the pressure as well on Ukraine and saying the president could always walk away of this because he's so unpredictable. And all of this comes as well. One of those things that is also going to be discussed likely in that meeting today between Zelensky and European leaders is that new national security strategy that was released last week that really has put European allies kind of in this state of concern and uncertainty about what that means about their relationship with the United States. Russia, for their part, I should say, has welcomed that new proposal with their Kremlin spokesperson essentially saying that it kind of lines up more closely where Russia views the state of the world right now.
Yeah, so Elena Trine at the White House this morning, a lot to unpack in there. Well, I'm going to start with Don Jr.'s comments that it's a realistic possibility that his dad just walks away from Ukraine and says, I've had enough with this. President Trump did say that he could end this war in 24 hours. And, that's not a realistic thing. It wasn't a realistic guideline. It wasn't a realistic expectation, I don't think, from anyone. Because when he said that, it was like, well, if you can, great. But I think once he got in and saw how entrenched Vladimir Putin is on his demands, and we saw those in the 28-point peace plan with all of the ceding of lands that Ukraine would have to do and never join NATO. I mean, it's a tough task. There's a lot of red lines for both sides of this. But I also said months ago that if there is going to be any sort of an end to this war, a peaceful end to this war, it's not going to fall on the United States' shoulders. It's got to be about Europe. It's their backyard. They're the ones that are concerned that Vladimir Putin is not going to stop at Ukraine, that he's going to start, if he's successful in Ukraine, he's going to go elsewhere throughout Eastern Europe. And it's a bigger issue in Europe than it is in the United States. And President Trump has to deal with folks in the GOP that are 100% like Marjorie Taylor Greene, America first. They don't want us funding any foreign wars or providing military assets. So I mean, it's politically, it's a rock and a hard place. But for months, I've been saying if this is going to end, it's going to be on Russia, on the European Union's shoulders. and our NATO allies. They're the ones that are going to have to guide this and lead this. So I thought that was very, very telling that Don Jr. said, yeah, my dad could walk away from this. Elena mentioned Zelensky's in London right now, meeting with European leaders. International correspondent Claire Sebastian.
Well, look, we've seen this cycle before, Sarah. The Europeans rally together to try to bolster and strengthen Ukraine, to try to provide the optics of unity and support. I think Zelensky is going to be updating his European allies. The Prime Minister of the UK here at Downing Street. We're expecting the French President Emmanuel Macron, the German Chancellor Friedrich Merz to arrive. He'll be updating them on the latest talks. He had a call over the weekend with the Ukrainian and U.S. negotiating delegations who had just spent 3 days talking in Miami. There didn't seem to have been much that came out of that. President Zelensky said that he believes the U.S. understands the Ukrainian position, and they discussed next steps. But I think this really puts the onus on Europe. They are at a critical juncture. They've been sidelined by the U.S. in these talks. They are continually ridiculed by Moscow. And the focus now is on whether Europe can actually stump up the cash to fund Ukraine through the next year. So I think there'll be talk of that, whether or not they're prepared to use the frozen assets. We know that there's been debating going on behind the scenes on that. Security guarantees are likely to come up. We know that President Trump wants Europe to put up most of the security guarantees. So there's a lot on Europe's plate here. And I think we're going to see some diplomatic contortions as they try to sort of argue that the transatlantic alliance is still going strong. There's still a lot of unity behind Ukraine. All of that, I think, messaging to the U.S. that they still need them to stay engaged for this process to work.
All right, Claire Sebastian. So Zelensky meeting with European allies in London, and there's solidarity there, and that's at the end of the day, this is going to be Europe's problem, whether it happens next week or in 6 months. But this is a bigger deal for Europe than it is for the United States. If there are any news that breaks out of those meetings with Zelensky in Europe, we'll bring it to you here live throughout the day on 95.5 WSB. Top 2025 Google searches are in. I have not looked at the list, Deborah. Is Ukraine, is that even one of the top Google searches of 2025, or are people just over like a Ukraine-Russia fatigue kind of thing?
It gives me a top 10 list here. Russia, Ukraine, not in the top 10.
All right, so this is compiled by Google, which everyone uses. Longoria uses DuckDuckGo. I don't know what he's doing, but most people, he's got the tinfoil hat on. He doesn't want anyone checking his search. Most people use Google to search now. So these are the top 10 things that globally or just in the United States, does it say?
Google's top trending searches of 2025. So the way I look at it is United States, but it could be globally.
All right, so let's start at the bottom, number 10 on
tariffs.
That's only 10?
10, because a lot of us don't really understand, or we're wondering how it impacts our shipping and buying things. So tariffs was the 10th most searched thing of 2025.
All right, number 9?
World Cup. Of course.
Oh, okay.
I was just Googling that this past couple days.
Speaking of which, do we find out who's going to be playing in Atlanta in the World Cup or no?
Yeah, no, I do have the
Well, we'll do that
schedule.
later. We'll do that. Let me go through the list. All right, Deborah's going to tell you who's playing in Atlanta and when. Number 8, most searched Google term.
Government shutdown, right? That's affected everyone here in the
Sure,
United That's why I think it's a
absolutely.
United States one more
This
than
sounds
globally.
like a U.S. list,
Yeah,
yes.
government shutdown, number 8. Number 7 is DeepSeek. Remember when that launched earlier this year? DeepSeek. It has like the whale on the app. It was a new app. No?
That's not the thing that imploded.
No, that's the Titan.
Yeah, that didn't
submersible.
happen this year.
That was
it?
last year.
I don't
wasn't
know.
it? Yeah.
So what the heck? What's DeepSeek?
DeepSeek. Apparently, you weren't Googling it, but it was the 7th most searched thing on Google.
Okay.
Number 6 is Zohan Mamdani. Right? Number 6.
He's ahead of the government shutdown.
Ahead of the government shutdown
All
and
right.
tariffs, yes.
Interesting.
Number 5, One Big Beautiful Bill Act. I think people are just trying to figure out all the
What's going on
components
there?
of
Okay.
that. Number 4, iPhone 17, as it is every year when the iPhone launches.
All right.
Number 3, Labubu, those little stuffed animal monster-looking things that people are hanging off their purses.
That was searched more than the government shutdown.
Yes.
Labubu.
Labubu.
All right.
Number 2, maybe this was in your house, K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, I could see that.
Number 1, not surprising, most searched Google, Charlie Kirk.
Wow, Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. I think it's because if you're not in that world, you wanted to know why he was targeted,
Yeah.
right? Like, to me, I knew who he was, but, like, why would anybody want to go after him?
There's so many conspiracy theories still out there about the Charlie Kirk assassination. We're not going to get into them, but I think obviously when the assassination happened, everyone went to Google, but I think it's maintained that number 1 spot because there are so many conspiracy theories. Is he still alive? One that popped up this weekend was was he about to divorce his wife? Like, there's some crazy stuff out there. Interesting. Charlie Kirk, the #1 most Google search term. Yeah, it's got it. That's the United States list. I'm pretty sure. But all right, interesting stuff. Yeah, so coming up, Deborah's going to break down the World Cup matches here in the United States. Before we check traffic, let's give away some tickets to a former guest on the Mark Arum Show. What do we have today, Deborah?
Tickets to go see Barry Manilow at Gas South Arena on January 16th.
All right, let's do the 16th caller to 404-872-0750. 16th caller to Vinny Drip at 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see Barry Manilow January 16th at Gas South Arena. 10:18 on the Mark Arum Show. When we come back, updating our top local stories right now, though, got to check the ride around town. Hello and good morning to the incomparable Ashley Frasca.
Hey there, Mark. The only slow zones are work zones right now. Construction crews are out on Highway 316 eastbound around High Hope. Careful of that in the right lane. And construction crews also working on the East Freeway, I-20 eastbound past Panola Road. You'll have to get out of the left lane there. Traffic brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Hey, Georgia, remember you can play Georgia Lottery games from almost anywhere on any device. Go to galottery.com and click on DigiGames. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
Everyone has an opinion.
I've had some great Mondays. I'm having a good Monday right now. Look, it's beautiful outside.
Got that
nice loud shirt.
Eric Von Hessler has an opinion.
It's a citrusy, summery, I think breezy kind of shirt.
And some advice.
But just remember this.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
I never have and never will smoke a cigar.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Some friends one time sent my wife and me Omaha steaks for Christmas, and they sent it to our old house. We had moved out of it and not yet sold it. Went to the house. I could smell the steak before I saw it. Didn't know who sent it to me. Called Omaha Steaks. Not only did they send me a brand new package to my house, they told me who had sent it to me so I could send a thank you note. It was incredible customer service. And I've been sending gifts from Omaha Steaks because how great their customer service is ever since. You can get the Sizzle All the Way sale right now, 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com, and you get an extra $35 off with promo code ERIC, E-R-I-C-K, at checkout. You can get incredible options. My wife began her love affair of caramel apple tartlets with that package. Omaha Steaks sent to us. You can, too. Get the fillets, get the New York strips, omahasteaks.com, 50% off right now, the Sizzle All the Way sale, $35 off extra with promo code ERIC at checkout, minimum order required, omahasteaks.com.
Each day at Ronald McDonald House Atlanta, we see caregivers walk through our doors with tear-stained faces, siblings with sleepy eyes from a long travel day, and the nervous yet brave smile of a child facing circumstances they can't yet understand. While these families are fighting for their children, we're here to help keep them strong. This is not just where they stay, it is where they're held. It is where they carry each other. Support families. Donate today at ronaldmcdonaldhouseatl.org.
Hey, it's Mark Arum here. My friends at Rocco's European Garage once again stepping up for the 35th annual Clark's Christmas Kids, helping make sure every child in Georgia's foster care system wakes up with presents this Christmas. Thank you to the team at Rocco's European Garage.
Got a leaky pipe? Trouble with your heat or AC? Ace Hardware Home Services is around the corner with trusted pros to fix it. From plumbing to heating and cooling, we'll keep your home running smoothly all year long. Get help today at acehardwarehomeservices.com.
My wake-up call came during the holidays 3 years ago. Like many of you out there will be doing this time of year, I was savoring all the holiday stuff with my parents. It's Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care. I remember we were preparing a holiday meal and I saw my dad really struggling with a boiling pot on the stove. It was that moment that I knew I had to explore home care options for my folks. This holiday season, as you enjoy precious time with your aging parents, you too might notice some small signs as they struggle with day-to-day tasks. A little more forgetful, having trouble remembering to take their meds. If your aging parents are clear that they want to age in place in the comfort of their homes, please Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta and request a call. It's 100% free, and it's a crucial step in getting your parents what they need for their care, allowing you, their child, to do your role and just love them. Google Four Seasons Home Care.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
For your home to be truly healthy, it needs to be bug and critter free. Who knows what germs they bring in? Yuck. This is Scott Slade. I trust Breda Pest Management to protect my home, inside and out, because a pest-free home is a healthy home. Don't settle for the 5-minute outside-only spray and pray approach to pest control. It's the gross, germy bugs inside you want gone.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2798. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Jingle bell, founding determination of our people, we will gain the inevitable triumph. So help us God.
84 years ago today, you heard President Roosevelt on WSB Radio. A day after the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, President Roosevelt told Congress America had no choice to fight back. Only one congressman voted against declaring war. Senate unanimously supported the war declaration. So yesterday we were off the air. It was a Pearl Harbor Day. Interesting. I just watched this documentary, American Experience. Great documentaries on PBS. And it was a long one about FDR. And I went to college right down the street from his childhood home, the FDR estate. And I didn't know this, that when he married Eleanor Roosevelt, do you know who walked Eleanor Roosevelt down the aisle?
Oh, who was it?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh, okay.
Teddy.
Okay.
Eleanor was Teddy's favorite niece.
Oh.
And he walked Eleanor down. And so Franklin Roosevelt and Eleanor Roosevelt's maiden name was Roosevelt. Like she's Eleanor Roosevelt. They were like distant cousins, which is,
It was kind of normal back
yeah,
then.
kind of normal, exactly. But anyway, welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Oh, I don't have time to talk about this. It's an archaeological discovery in the United States that I think is really, really cool. Is that a good enough tease?
That's a good enough tease.
That's a good enough tease. Yeah, you know how much I love archaeology, and this is about the origins of the United States too, which I think is makes it an extra cool story. So we'll do that a little bit later. All right, when we come back after news, weather, and traffic, Eric Erickson's going to join us live. Marjorie Taylor Greene's long interview with 60 Minutes. Eric's big takeaways from that, and we'll talk to him about the pipe bombing suspect arrest in Northern Virginia. Congrats to Nathan from Athens. He won tickets to see Barry Manilow at Gas South Arena. We're going to have those tickets throughout the week, Deborah?
Every day.
Amen, girl. I've never said that before in my life. News, weather, and traffic at 3. It's WSB Radio.
He knows when you're away.
He knows if you've been bad or good.
So be good for goodness sake.
Spend your time with those who matter most this holiday season and sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, and the best part, there is no stress. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Go to markspain.com and start packing.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Hey friends, it's Mark Aaron back from my pals at Reliable Heating and Air. Check it out. This season, Reliable Heating and Air is giving up to $2,000 cash back when you upgrade to a high-efficiency water heater and whole home water purification system. $2,000. You want to do one or the other? It's $1,000 cash back. Amazing. For my friends at Reliable, book your free consultation by going to reliableair.com. Stay warm, stay hydrated, stay paid with Reliable.
It's the end of the year. Time to look back and reflect. Look at all we did. But look at all the things we meant to do, but never actually did. After all those tipsy New Year's promises, you didn't join the gym. You didn't get around to reading War and Peace. And apparently, you didn't do anything about this garage door that's still not working right. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A quick repair will get your garage door back in shape, no matter how much you eat. No crazy diets, just a smooth, quiet door going up and down like it should. And after all of your friends have bailed on their gym memberships, you'll have a garage door that works like a charm for several New Years to come. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and I'll throw in my copy of War and Peace. I mean, who am I kidding?
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by your Metro Atlanta AMCO dealers. You may want to double check and make sure your car does not have a recall. Reporter Jeff Gilbert says you may want to get it taken care of. If so, it could be deadly.
About 22% of vehicles that have recently been recalled for non-deploying airbags have not yet been fixed. A Wall Street Journal analysis found 12 people have died because of that. Government safety officials say they can order a car maker to issue a recall, but they cannot order an owner to comply.
Your weather for today, mostly cloudy, breezy, and drier. Afternoon highs around 46. Some of the winds could be gusting up to 20 miles an hour, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Japan has reported a powerful 7.6 magnitude earthquake. It struck off of northern Japan, triggering a tsunami of up to 40 centimeters in coastal communities in the region. We understand several people have been injured. No word yet on the extent of damage. Luigi Mangione back in court today in New York. His attorneys trying to throw out evidence found in one of his bags that authorities searched when he was found at a McDonald's in Pennsylvania. New this morning, Aaron Katursky has the phone calls that were made to police that day right before his arrest.
I have a customer here that some other customers were suspicious of, that he looked like the CEO shooter from New York.
Customers at an Altoona McDonald's had noticed a young man eating breakfast in a corner seat.
Well, he has his beanie pulled down, so the only thing you can see is his eyebrows.
Altoona police dispatched 2 officers.
And one of those officers allegedly searched Mangione's backpack without a warrant by claiming it was an emergency. Defense lawyers have said that her actions violated Mangione's constitutional rights and should justify excluding any of the evidence found in that bag, including the alleged murder weapon and writings that prosecutors say amount to a confession. President Trump is set to announce a $12 billion aid package for U.S. farmers impacted by trade policies. According to multiple reports, the president will unveil the funding package during a roundtable at the White House today. American farmers have lost billions this year in soybean sales after China started going to South American suppliers as trade talks were stalled. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollings has said that this announcement was always coming. It was just delayed by the government shutdown. A number of farmers expected to attend the event today. Paramount has launched a bid to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery after losing a bidding war to Netflix. In an announcement, the company said that it would pay $30 a share to acquire the media company. Netflix announced it planned to buy the historic studio and its streaming assets in a $72 billion deal last week. Nearly $83 billion If you account for debt, that would require federal approval. This comes out to about $28 a share, and it comes as President Trump said Netflix deal could be a problem. And gas prices are down. AAA reporting today's national average is $2.95 a gallon for regular unleaded. That's down about a nickel from last week and about 12 cents from a month ago. It's the first time in 4 years that gas prices have dipped below the $3 a gallon mark. We're paying an average of $2.79 here in Georgia. As we take a look at the markets, the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P are all in negative territory. Ashley Frasca is in the WSB 24-hour traffic center with a look at your roads.
Thankfully, just a couple of slow spots, Sabrina, around town, and that is due to construction. Cruiser in the left lane on I-20 eastbound past Panola Road, exit 71, so slow going there. And through Lawrenceville, they're working in the right lane of Highway 316 eastbound at High Hope. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy, drizzly, and breezy today, high 46. Clear and cold tonight as temperatures fall into the low 30s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, high 49. Sunshine and warming up on Wednesday to the mid-50s.
It is 45 degrees right now in Dunwoody. Covington has 46 degrees, and it's 45 in Alpharetta. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
When we came up with the idea for Clark's Christmas Kids 35 years ago, I told myself we were going to help every foster child across the state. But we need your help. To find out how you can make a child's Christmas wishes come true, visit WSBRadio.com.
A special thanks to our friends at Scana Energy, Rocco's European Garage, and Finley Roofing for their continued support of Clark's Christmas Kids.
I am America First.
And that's not the same as MAGA.
MAGA is President Trump's phrase. That's his.
Marjorie Taylor Greene on 60 Minutes last night. Eric Erickson's reaction to that interview. He's live in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Or are they promising you up to 10% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you have a plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired, and don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Call Trajan today. 404-208-3300. That's 404-208-3300.
Annuities not advisory products. DBA Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Wall cracks, window stuck, could be a foundation problem. Mark Beckham with Atlanta Ramjack, and our estimators are thoroughly trained to get you the proper evaluation for your home. Schedule your free assessment with the foundation repair experts at atlantaramjack.com.
Mark Arum here, counting down my 12 favorite items at Publix. Number 12 for the holidays, stovetop stuffing. It's not just for Thanksgiving, it's delicious 12 months out of the year. Love stuffing. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. If you're planning to propose this holiday, we're ready to make creating your engagement ring a warm, welcoming experience. At Shane Company, we're all about your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. Explore the widest selection of diamonds and ring settings ready for you to see in person, or visit us at shaneco.com. You'll have your ring in days, not weeks. Our friendly jewelry consultants don't work on commission. There's never any pressure, just perfect proposals. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
I have zero plans, zero desire to run for president. I would hate the Senate. I'm not running for governor.
To me, that was one of the biggest headlines out of Marjorie Taylor Greene's long interview with 60 Minutes last night. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Joining us live as he does every Monday at this time, our good pal Eric Erickson. Eric, good morning.
Good morning. Marked safe from Marjorie Taylor Greene's future political career.
Well, I mean, because when she dropped that bombshell resignation, the question I had, and I asked you and our political analyst, was, all right, is she setting herself up for a run for Senate, governor, president? She, for at least for now, took that off the table yesterday.
Yeah, look, I think that she's auditioning for the new TV show on OAN with Matt Gaetz. and it'll be all about just weird underage girls and Palestinians, and she wants to be a TV star or a podcast host.
So you think that's the logical next step? For
All right,
Marjorie?
look, I mean, it's at this point we're in the 21st century Trump era. The next job is podcast host.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's what I expect. Listen, I have very little kind to say about Marjorie
I
Taylor
know.
Greene. She stirred the pot herself. She rode the wave. She benefited from the hate. She generated the hate. She was a terrible member of Congress for her constituents, many of whom had to rely on other members of Congress to get help for their businesses, while she got on TV and built a fundraising network. And then suddenly she decided to turn on the president and try to claim a portion of his base for herself, and it didn't go well for her. So now she's picking up her football and going home and claiming the system is broken. It's not that the system is broken. It's that Marjorie Taylor Greene alienated everyone around her in Congress, Democrat and Republican, so couldn't get anything done.
Speaking of her congressional colleagues, one thing that stood out in that 60 Minutes interview, she said, and I'm paraphrasing, that a lot of her fellow Republicans on the House, will praise President Trump to his face and in public, but behind closed doors, they despise him. Did that, you've got sources in D.C.
Listen, I one time met a member of Congress in a Safeway grocery store in Washington, D.C., who earlier in the day had been on Fox News praising Donald Trump to the hilt as a genius, and in the grocery store referred to him as an effing evil Forrest Gump.
Wow. That's a moniker no one wants.
Yes.
Is that just so it rings true? I was like, yeah, I could see that. Is it?
Oh
just,
yeah, it happens all the time.
It's
I mean,
just
you
the
go to the green
fear.
room in Fox, it's notorious. You go to Fox, and behind the scenes, they're all complaining about him, and then the moment the camera comes on, they praise him. But here's the thing: notice she didn't out anyone. She could have.
Yeah.
And she was there for a very long time while this was happening and said nothing. Only in her exit interviews is she starting to say this stuff. She benefited from the system until it turned on her, and now she's ready to burn the bridges.
Speaking of podcasters, and I think you're right. I think that's a logical next step for her. Dan Bongino made his millions, and made his name in the podcast sphere before he became the deputy FBI director, singing a different tune now when it comes to that pipe bomb suspect arrest.
Yeah, listen, I got to tell you, and it's not just that, it's also the Epstein files. He was one of the people who stirred the pot along with Kash Patel on the sinister secrets of the Epstein list, and then gets in there. He's like, oh, our bad. Turns out there never was a formal list. I got to give Dan credit for this. He very tenaciously worked the evidence and got a result. It was not the result a lot of people, including like at the Blaze, were expecting. They were expecting some inside job of the feds, and it turns out that's not the case. What's notable here is there was no new evidence, there were no new witnesses, there were no new stones to unturned. They just reworked everything they had, something that the FBI could have done in the Biden administration and didn't do.
I heard from one Secret Service agent, I think it was on Fox News, saying because when this story broke, we're like, oh, who flipped? Where did they get the new info from? And it turns out there was no new tip or anything. But the Secret Service agent was like, they might have been able to use AI and actually pour over all of these reams of cell phone data, and maybe that actually sped things up toward the end to get to the capture.
Listen, that's a real possibility. So what they did, for people who haven't heard, is they went through and they looked at the individual components of the pipe bombs and were able to sort through Home Depot and Lowe's and other hardware purchases made around that time, and were able to find a pattern, and it came up in each case with this particular guy. It wouldn't surprise me if they used AI to find that.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Home Depot's like, stop,
Right.
please,
Yeah.
please
Yeah.
stop.
This is why, by the way, this is why people pay with cash.
Yeah, and I said this when we got that Home Depot bit of knowledge. I was like, and there's video from the Home Depot, and a really helpful, a Home Depot. Oh, what size pipe do you need? Okay, do you want me to cut it for you? Because they're so helpful there.
Yes.
They actually helped it. All right, but the suspect, 30-year-old recluse, what do you make of him?
Yeah, listen, I got to tell you, I mean, everybody was digging Jake Tapper for referring to him as a white guy. This had white guy written all over it. Home Depot purchasing pipe bomb components because you're an anarchist who believes the election was stolen. That says like Southern redneck white guy, not Virginia suburbs black guy. And this shows you, it actually shows you great racial progress in this country. that we could have someone who was non-white who believed the election was stolen and wanted to do something. But also, it shows you just how people who live isolated lives these days, of which there are many, have growing mental health issues, including conspiratorial thinking. It's not a coincidence this guy lived an isolated existence and decided to do this.
Yeah, very curious to learn more about that. Yeah, like a 30-year-old recluse, basically.
Yeah,
living
and apparently
with his
he's
parents.
confessed.
Eric Erickson joining us live here on the Mark Arum Show. I try to stay away from X Twitter, but it's part of the gig. I saw this. I don't know if you caught it. Ted Cruz going after Tucker Carlson.
Yes.
All right. What's Tucker Carlson's deal right now?
No one seems to know what Tucker Carlson's deal is. Everyone's convinced he's getting money from Qatar through flow-throughs. I've got no idea, but he was speaking in Qatar, having blasted the globalists who go abroad and speak. He went to Qatar and spoke with a bunch of different people. Tucker seems intent on undermining the United States as it is, thinking that somehow it can be rebuilt in his image or something. It's very bizarre, the turn of events. He has a massive following, but continues to promote America haters, anti-Semites. It's very weird what he's doing. And, he gave Ted Cruz a very tough interview over his over his concerns about Iran, and then gave this very softball interview to Nick Fuentes, the white supremacist. So I think Tucker has decided that he wants to elevate all of the bad in the world and think that maybe some good will come from that.
Is this just for clicks, views, and money?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is for so many of these people. That they are into the traffic. He doesn't have Fox News covering his health care or salary anymore, so he's essentially making a market off the most gullible and worst people on the planet.
Yeah, and the weirdest takes or opinions
Yes.
or that's what generates the most revenue.
Yes. Yeah, it very much is. And you got a lot of gullible people who, again, have lived very isolated existences, no longer trust the government, and they want to believe this stuff.
Eric Erickson joining us here on the Mark Arum Show. We went through the top 10 most searched Google terms in the United States last year, and number one, Eric, was Charlie Kirk. That was the number one most searched Google term. I mentioned that there's a rabbit hole conspiracy theory stuff going on there. But we're, just Charlie Kirk in general. Obviously, if he was the number one search term on Google, that's a big story. Are we any further closer to getting more information or motive or anything about that?
I think we've got what we need, honestly. The guy's in jail now, which is why we're not hearing about him. The latest conspiracy theory is there must be someone else because we're not seeing the guy. Yeah, you're not seeing him because he turned himself in and he's in jail. He's not doing photo ops. As the trial plays out, we will learn more. But, we do know this guy was radicalized with left-wing ideology from a conservative family who was dating a transgender person, and they were into very deviant, furry sex culture and had serious issues.
I think we have a new audio drop. Can you pull that, Longoria? Deviant, furry sex culture.
There you go.
Yeah,
it's true.
Chris Crawford, get that in a promo right now. What's coming up on the show today, buddy?
Well, we're going to talk about the things that really are inciting everyone today. College football playoffs.
Oh, my gosh. Unbelievable. How about the dogs, though? Holy smokes.
Good Lord. You think people get angry about Trump on social media the moment those rankings came out. The Notre Dame people, the Brigham Young people, the Alabama, it just fight. Good Lord.
I got to tell you what, since we're talking about college football, I respect the heck out of Marco Rubio. At the cabinet meeting, where they're going around what's going on in this department, he takes time out. He's like, listen, college football selection committee, I'm a Gator, but if you rob Miami from getting into the college, yes. I was like, oh, all right, Rubio, yeah, that was pretty cool.
But doesn't his son, I think, play for the University of Miami?
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
All right, excellent. There you go. All right, well, I will be listening as always on my way home.
All right,
Eric, always a pleasure.
Thank you.
There you go. Eric Erickson, noon to 3, right after this broadcast across the Fruited Plains. By the way, speaking of Erickson, do you see Loti's post, his deer killing post?
I did. I even let Leslie read it. I was like, check this out. He shot 2 of them.
Yeah, he says he did.
Yeah. That was a really good story.
It was a great story, if it's true. But either way, he's got two big slabs of venison. Can you reach out to him and see if we're going to get any of the?
I hope we get something.
Right, reach out.
We're all plugging him.
Listen, we're all food insecure here on the Mark Arum Show.
I got a new freezer.
Exactly. There you go. All right, 10:47 on the Mark Aram Show. Let's check the ride around town. Live with the latest. Here's Ashley Frasca.
Couple of work zones to be aware of. Cruiser in the left lane, I-20 eastbound past Panola Road, so a bit of a slowdown there, and through Lawrenceville. Cruiser in the right lane, Highway 316 eastbound at High Hope, and just spotted a new construction zone, or at least new for today. Cruiser set up in the right lane on Buford Highway and coming Highway 20 westbound at Sanders Road. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
If it's happening on the streets of Atlanta.
After suspect refuses to exit home on Summer Chase Drive.
If it's happening on the roads leading to Atlanta.
Looks to be a tanker truck crashed into the median on the JamCam.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
The major culprits is squeezing household budgets for auto insurance, gasoline, and utilities.
Your 24/7 news source. Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
Hey, friends, it's Mark Aram back from my pals at Reliable Heating and Air. Check it out. This season, Reliable Heating and Air is giving up to $2,000 cash back when you upgrade to a high-efficiency water heater and whole home water purification system. $2,000. You want to do one or the other? It's $1,000 cash back. Amazing. For my friends at Reliable, book your free consultation by going to reliableair.com. Stay warm, stay hydrated, stay paid with Reliable.
Hey guys, are you striking out in the bedroom? Because pills like Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra just don't work anymore. Here's how Choice Men's Health is solving PE and ED issues. Meet Dr. Katz, the expert in men's health.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Choice Men's Health offers safe, custom-blended medications designed to fit your needs. There is no pain or surgery. It doesn't matter how old you are or if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues. Not a problem. It's safe and affordable for everyone. You'll see results in 15 minutes guaranteed, or you don't pay anything. Solve the problem of ED and PE now.
For a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are free. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170 to claim your initial consultation and first treatment for free. Call Choice Men's Health now, 404-400-1170.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers. My dad, Mike. Dad, what's the all-time best Christmas gift?
Diamond studs. Everybody needs a pair.
And ours don't break the bank. Real diamonds set in gold from just $275. And with D. Geller & Son's lifetime upgrade, get 100% of what you paid towards a bigger pair anytime for life.
We also have diamond jackets for $595 that go around the studs to instantly change the look.
So come spend the holidays with the experts at D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Longoria nipping at your nose. 10:53 on the Mark Arum Show. All Christmas music all the time through the first of the year. Speaking of Christmas, Clark's Christmas Kids up and running. WSBRadio.com. Deborah, updated total. Clark still needs 18,647 gifts. Oh my, that's a lot of gifts. You can donate now live online at WSBRadio.com. So great to see. I did a little drive-by. I didn't go on the air. I just went and took some pictures and hung out with the folks, and I had a great time at the Walmart in Roswell on Mansell Road. And I am going to give myself and Smile and Mark McKay star of the show for what happened at Clark's Christmas Kids on Sunday. So Brad Nitz and Eric Von Hessler and Clark were on the air when I was there, but Shelley was there, lurking in the wings, and Smilin came up, and I pulled Smilin over to Shelley because Smilin is the selfie king. Like, he knows how to take the best selfies.
Absolutely.
And Shelley, I love him. He is the worst selfie taker of all time. And he takes so many of them, like at his tailgates and station events, and he just has the bad angle. Like, he does it the low selfie, looking up at his face. And Smilin does, if you're watching in the live video stream, like, Smilin will hold the camera up over his head, and it's a good angle. So I made Smilin teach Shelley how to do good selfies. I think it's going to change his life. I think his ratings are going to go up now. I think, because he's, I love Shelley, Team Shelley.
You should have filmed that happening.
I should have. We'll see if Shelley will remember how to do. So I'm giving myself and Smile and Mark McKay star of the show for teaching Shelley.
Reply all.
Yeah. Now we'll work with someone to get the reply alls out of there. But Clark's Christmas Kids, again, we still need 18,647 gifts, and Christmas Day is 17 days away. So please donate if you can at WSBRadio.com. No spoilers from you, Deborah, because I did not yet watch the latest episode of Landman. I was too busy watching that Diddy documentary. I had to finish it before the show today so I could talk about it. But exciting news for Landman fans like Deborah and myself. This is season 2, and it's already phenomenal. We found out who the main character's dad is. Sam Elliott's his dad. That's not a spoiler. But already they've greenlit a season 3?
Yeah, Paramount Plus already ordered 3rd season of Landman, so it just premiered a couple weeks ago. 9.2 million viewers just within the couple days, because streaming numbers aren't quite the same as regular
What I
television
love,
numbers.
too, I don't know if you've seen this commercial. You probably don't watch as much commercial television I do, but Billy Bob Thornton, have you seen his new T-Mobile
ad?
commercial?
Yeah, there's been a couple of them.
So I'm going to make a bold statement. I think that Billy Bob Thornton is now the most trusted endorser. He has surpassed Tom Selleck because the commercial's really good, and it looks like it's on the looks like he's filming an episode of Landman in this commercial talking about T-Mobile.
He's definitely targeting like the working man.
Yes.
Where Tom Selleck had a little more like more women, I think, would approach Tom Selleck, where Billy Bob's looking at like a man's man.
All right, I can see that. He's pulling. You're saying women aren't swooning over Billy Bob as they are.
Not. I mean, I know plenty of women that crush on Billy Bob. I just think his approach is probably more like, this is a man's phone company. Look at me, I'm a cowboy working in the fields.
But it seems so genuine to me. Like I think he's the most trusted celebrity endorser. And I don't know if Tom Selleck's been on the sidelines, but I haven't seen a new reverse commercial, mortgage commercial. I mean, those are the top echelon right there. And maybe Ludacris. I think he's doing one of those car insurance repair spots?
Oh, the Car Shield?
It's not Car Shield though.
But
It's
I thought I saw him State Farm.
State Farm?
It's a fake State Farm?
I don't know.
All right.
You'll investigate,
He's
Vinny.
somewhere.
You'll investigate. All right, news, weather, and traffic in 3. When we come back, Supreme Court is going to hear an argument when it comes to birthright citizenship. Really big story. We'll give you the details next on The Mark Arum Show.
When they placed it on his head, he began to dance around.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Whether it's a slip that ends in a slip disc, a trick knee that's holding you back, or shoulder pain hurting your game, you can count on Northside Hospital Orthopedics. With leading care in Georgia at convenient locations all across the state, we're here to get you back on your feet, no matter what comes your way. Because Georgia moves us, and we keep Georgia moving. Find a provider near you at northside.com/ortho. That's northside.com/ORTHO.
Selling your home doesn't have to mean stress, delays, or settling for less. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. With Orchard, you get cash up front, so you can buy your next home first on your timeline. No waiting, no double moves, no living out of boxes while strangers tour your home. Then, once you're settled in, Orchard takes over, handling repairs, upgrades, staging, and marketing to get your old home sold for top dollar. When it sells, you get paid again. That's 2 paydays. One when you buy, one when you sell. It's a smarter, faster, more flexible way to move, and thousands of homeowners are doing it already. Start with your free home valuation today at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 11 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. This is new this hour. President Trump says he is planning to sign an executive order regarding artificial intelligence this week that would put the federal government in charge of regulation. However, some states are likely to push back against this. Legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum has more.
The Supremacy Clause of the Constitution makes all state laws subordinate to the higher authority of the federal government. But that doesn't mean that states don't have their own compelling state interests to regulate aspects of life that are also regulated by the federal government.
Now, the president argues having multiple regulations on the emerging technology, though, would stifle its growth. Your weather for today, mostly cloudy, breezy, drier air moving in. Afternoon highs around 46, says WSB meteorologist Christine Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just about 2 minutes. Well, after years of debate about what to do with Druid Hills High School, the DeKalb County School Board could vote today on the issue.
The latest plan calls for modernizing the 1927 school building rather than moving the high school. The controversy over what to do with one of the district's oldest buildings reached a peak more than 3 years ago when students went viral with a video showing raw sewage in outdoor areas and warning signs about shock hazards posted at the school.
It's hard to have a positive learning environment while you're facing all these conditions.
$185 million is budgeted for the renovations, but school officials hope to keep the costs lower. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
Now to New York this morning, accused killer Luigi Mangione back in court trying to get some evidence tossed out. Aaron Kotursky is watching that story.
Mangione's attorneys are now challenging what police retrieved from his backpack. One of the next witnesses is the officer who searched the bag, pulling out the alleged murder weapon and writings that prosecutors say point to motive. Another witness is the officer who found this pocket knife, zip ties, and a future to-do list. For today's date a year ago, the paper listed digital cam, hot meals, and water bottles. For the next day, the note said Intel check-in and survival kit.
Georgia Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene on 60 Minutes was asked about her resignation announcement.
It was sudden. But a lot of things changed. I stood for women who were raped when they were 14 years old. And the president that I fought for 5 years called me a traitor for that.
She also said that she has no plans to run for Senate, governor, or president. About 22% of vehicles recalled over faulty airbags have not been repaired. So 12 people have died because of that, according to the Wall Street Journal. To check your car for an airbag recall, the quickest way to do it is to use the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration website, where you can enter your 17-digit vehicle identification number to see any open safety recalls, and that would include those airbags. And this is the time of year when some people are struggling. Jim Ryan has details.
The American Psychiatric Association estimates that nearly 40% of us experience seasonal affective disorder, with its
difficulty sleeping, losing interest in the things that they normally enjoy doing, decreased energy.
Dr. Kaushal Nanavati, Assistant Dean of Wellness at Upstate University Hospital in New York, recommends vitamin D to people suffering seasonal depression
because it affects energy, mood, muscle aches, and pains.
And exposure to very bright light in the morning can trick your body into thinking the sun is up long before it rises.
As many as 11 million people suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P are all in the red. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. We say good morning to Alex Williams. How are we doing on the roads?
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. We're not terrible out there right now, but we do have some slow spots in the work zones, like in DeKalb County, left lane block 20 eastbound, east of Panola Road, so the brake lights find you just past Wesley Chapel. Traveling Highway 316 eastbound out into Gwinnett County toward Winder, or Decula, I should say. That is a right lane construction causing the brake lights as you make your way past Highway 120. And on the West Freeway, 20 eastbound, tapping the brake pedal mostly in those right lanes, 20 east between Fulton Industrial Boulevard and I-285. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly cloudy, breezy, and cool today. High 46. Clear and cold tonight. Lows in the low 30s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy. High 49. Sunshine and warming up to the mid-50s on Wednesday.
It is 45 degrees in Woodstock. Clarkston has 46 degrees, and it's 46 degrees here in Midtown Atlanta. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
No, I'll run this town to be near you.
11:05 on this extremely busy news day, Monday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Aram and crew with you till noon. Coming up in 30 minutes, we're going to talk to Josh Cisco from Bloomberg News. I want to break down, I'm not really following, Deborah, this merger talk between Netflix and Paramount. What is it?
It's Netflix and Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers. But I know it's going to, if this goes through, it's going to impact everyone that streams or whatever. So I want to get some inside info from Josh Cisco from Bloomberg News. He's going to join us in 30 minutes. Obviously monitoring what President Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, he's meeting with his European allies in London right now. Could see some headlines out of that. A lot of big local stories we're following as well. But I want to continue our coverage on the Supreme Court. Joining us is correspondent Rory O'Neill. Rory, arguments expected today regarding, appointments by President Trump. Perhaps the bigger case coming down the pipeline is that of birthright citizenship. What are the arguments for and against this, and when do we expect the courts to hear arguments?
Well, the Supreme Court said on Friday that it would hear arguments about birthright citizenship in January. Now, this all started in January of this year. On January 20th, Inauguration Day, President Trump signed an executive order essentially ending birthright citizenship. That means if you were born here, you are an American citizen. And the president's executive order attempted to put an end to that. Now, that EO has sort of been on hold while the court considers the case, and now they scheduled briefings to happen or arguments to happen in January. And President Trump will tell you, look, this is a 21st century where people can fly in easily. Suddenly now they have a baby here, and they have all the benefits. That family essentially has all the benefits that comes with being an American citizen. And essentially he's trying to put an end to that process, either, for someone who's paying for the privilege of having a baby here, or people who are in the country already illegally having children here and having what's been dubbed an anchor baby.
It seems like such an important issue, right? The constitutional issue. And we've known about this since last January, since, as you mentioned, inauguration. And we're not going to, the Supreme Court's not going to hear arguments till this January. Why the delay on such an important case? Do we have any indication?
Well, that's about the pace at which the court works. I don't think it's a crazy delay since, now that it's gotten to them and people filing the legal challenges to get the case up to them. So essentially within a year, which isn't crazy. We all want it to be faster. But what's more likely, though, rather than rule on the merits of the case, this idea of, well, should a child born in the U.S. be a citizen? I think the court will probably come down to, can a president undo an amendment to the Constitution with an executive order? I think that's going to be the bigger issue, because obviously presidents come and go. Executive orders easily overdone by the new president, either party, doesn't matter. So I think that the focus of the court will be on whether or not President Trump has the authority to end this protection that is provided by the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, rather than, how do we address this issue of people having anchor babies?
Correspondent Rory O'Neill joining us on the Mark Arum Show. So 10, 11 months after this executive order from President Trump, what's the current law of the land? Is it still, if you're born here, you are a U.S. citizen?
It is. So essentially the EO has been put on hold since it was signed. And so if you have the baby here, that baby is considered, for the most part, an American citizen. There are very limited exceptions. But and that's the way it's been for over a century. And look, the 14th Amendment was one of, I think, 3 different constitutional amendments that was approved after the Civil War. This all goes back to slavery and who is a citizen and who gets full citizenship and that kind of a thing. We were trying to undo some of the stuff that was there in the Constitution originally. So this was passed as part of that, or adopted. So this has been law for well over a century now, which is another reason that these strict constructionalists on the court, the conservatives, might say, look, I don't want, that's how it was written. If you guys want to pass a new amendment to change it, that's fine, but this is what the amendment says. You want to pass an amendment, go ahead, but an executive order, that may not be the way to undo this.
Something to look forward to in dreary January, a huge Supreme Court argument. Rory, great stuff as always, my friend. Have a fantastic day.
Hey, thanks, Mark.
Earlier in the show, I made a prediction that the Supreme Court would side with President Trump in the hearing going on now when it comes to the executive branch appointing their own people to these federal commissions, the FCC, et cetera. And I really fully believe that Trump will get a victory there. I don't think he will on this one with the birthright citizenship, simply because it's in the Constitution. And I think Rory hit the nail on the head. If President Trump wants to get rid of birthright citizenship, he's got to call Speaker Johnson up and say, hey, Mikey, what do you think? Does he have a nickname for Mike Johnson yet? He's got a nickname for everybody.
I feel like he has a nickname for everybody.
Yeah.
We might not know it, but I think he's got one.
Interesting. Anyway, whatever the nickname is, MJ. He calls him MJ in my mind. Hey, MJ, we got to change this amendment to that's the only way, I think. I think the Supreme Court's going to say, no, that's a bridge too far. If you want to change it, go ahead. But you got to get congressional approval to overturn that amendment. Updating the narco boat strikes in Washington, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has not said publicly today if he will support calls to release the full video of the September 2nd U.S. airstrikes on a suspected drug boat in the Caribbean that killed its survivors. ABC News Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce has more.
Democrats who have seen the video demanding it be made public. A source who has reviewed the footage tells ABC News that after the initial strike, the video shows the survivors clinging for their lives to the wreckage of the overturned boat, appearing incapacitated and waving to something overhead. Another source says roughly 40 minutes after that first attack, the military struck again, killing those survivors.
Democrats that have seen it in that classified briefing with the admiral said, the Connecticut senator said it was the worst thing he's ever seen. And then Republican senators are like, it's a nothing burger. So if it is a nothing burger, then just release it, right? If that's truly the case, and if it's not a war crime, then just go ahead and release it. I don't know if that's going to be Hegseth's call or President Trump's call, but listen, if it's nothing, then just release it. Show us what's going on. This has nothing to do with what's going on in the Caribbean, but I can't believe this, Longoria. If you, in your cartel days, if you were tasked with a 10-ton cocaine shipment, 10 tons.
That's a lot.
That's, I'm not even going to, that's 20,000 pounds of cocaine. 20,000, and you lost it in your narco days, what would have happened to you?
You're dead.
You're dead,
Yeah.
right? Apparently, the United States government has just seized a 10-ton round of cocaine shipments? Where did this didn't go down in the Caribbean, right? This was in Mexico?
This was in South Mexico, and
Okay.
it was Coast Guard cutter Monroe. 10 tons of cocaine. Now, what it was cool, they said they had a helicopter sniper. I've never even heard of that
Yeah.
before, but they were able to kind of disable the boat's motors, and that's how the crew could get to the boat. And they had 10 tons of cocaine. And they're saying, obviously, that's just a huge amount, but this year they've seized so much. Normally, they just take in about 167,000 pounds of cocaine, which is a lot. But this year alone, with all the boat strikes they've been doing, they've pulled in 3 times as much.
We never even saw a shipment that big in any of the seasons of Narcos, right?
No, I think if you put them all together, it'd be that big.
That's insane. So what does the government do with that now?
That's what I want to know. What do you like? You can't. How do you get rid of it? You can't just burn it.
I don't know. Do you sell it to
Do you sell it
to
back?
Russia? That's
Can it be turned into alternative fuel? Like, what is it?
turned into that would be
What do you do with
that
that?
would be a game changer. Elon Musk's new Tesla runs on cocaine. That would be phenomenal. I can't even comprehend. And I mean, you're so far out of the game, Longoria. I'm not going to ask you, but the street value of that, like many people are dead, in whoever was transporting that. Right? You can't. You don't. There's no getting away.
No.
Yeah, you don't come back from whatever cartel you're
No.
working with. You just disappear at that
You don't
point.
go, my bad. I
Yeah,
just lost 10 tons.
That's absolutely crazy. I do want to this, Deborah. I'm pretty excited about this because I'm pretty sure I saw the original Star Wars in the theater. The 50th anniversary is coming up, I believe, in 2027, and they're going to re-release it in theaters. So I haven't seen Star Wars in the big screen since 1977, and I was 3 or 4 years old. One of my favorite movies of all time. I'm a Star Wars kid for sure, the original ones, not the cockamamie fakakta things that they've done after. But I'm kind of excited to go see Star Wars on the big screen. But I got to wait till 2027?
Yeah, it's going to be the 50th anniversary. So February 19th, 2027 will be the anniversary, and you'll be able to see the original, newly restored one, but not the one that they did for the 25-year anniversary.
Oh,
where
with
they,
the CGI
where they put
stuff?
like CGI and other stuff. It's not
Yeah.
going to be that one. It's going to be the old school original one.
I'm embarrassed. I don't want to know the answer. Oh, Vinny's not here
He went
anymore.
upstairs to grab something.
Do you think Vinny's seen
no,
the original Star Wars?
I think maybe he's seen the new ones.
You were too young to see it in theater.
Yeah, I was born in 77, so I was
you've
born when
never-
it came out. I've never seen it
No.
in theater. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen them all.
I think that's exciting. I was during the pandemic. I was like, I'll never go to the movie theater again. But when I went to see Wicked, I enjoyed it, and we went to see Downton Abbey. I enjoyed it.
You gonna dress up because you know everyone else will be dressed up in Star Wars.
No, I don't even know. I guess I'd be Obi-Wan Kenobi, just throw on a brown robe.
Okay.
Like that would be the easiest. I'm not a big costume guy. Maya loves it.
Maya could go as Princess Leia.
She's already picking out her Princess Leia, the Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, you could be
outfit.
Jabba the Hutt. You could be Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah. Oh, Longoria's not getting started.
What?
The show.
That's Star
No, I'm
Show
just
worthy.
kidding.
Oh, here's Vin's.
Vinny, have you ever seen? Oh, he's on the phone. We'll get back to Vin in just a second. The other story, Deborah. We didn't get to this. The lost indigenous settlement was found. Now, normally during Thanksgiving, I'll harp on the fact that our origin story, the Pilgrims, Plymouth Rock, is kind of BS. It's not really how America started because the Jamestown settlement was decades before the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock. But they had someone taking notes. The guy wrote a book about the Pilgrims, so we just assume, all right, that's where America started. It was Pilgrims and Thanksgiving. But the settlement in South Carolina, North Carolina, the Jones, Virginia settlement, like that was there decades before the Pilgrims got here. Anyway, there's a lost indigenous tribe that was mentioned in the Jamestown papers, but scientists have actually confirmed that it did exist, this lost indigenous tribe.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. They've been doing some excavating around Fawn's Cliff near the Rappahannock River.
Yeah.
Do you know where that is?
I do.
Okay, well, so that is supposedly where this Jamestown settlement was supposed to be. And again, like you said, only one person, John Smith, was taking notes.
Yeah.
And we just kind of take that for value because there was no Instagram snapping photos back then, and a lot of people that came over here did not have literacy or writing skills to kind of keep this, and the natives wrote in different languages too. So now that they've done all these excavations, they've been able to find like new pottery and tools, and it basically said, yes, this tribe was here. They did meet the early English colonialists, And there's just all this evidence that they did kind of live together. And they're saying the reason it's cool is because now they have some more evidence on how the two actually interacted together.
Yeah, and this was 20 years before the Pilgrims hit Plymouth Rock. By the way,
The Pilgrims weren't first anyway.
well, none of them were first. There are people here for 30,000 plus years. If you ever go on a road trip, Longoria, or Deborah, or anyone listening, do not waste your time going to see Plymouth Rock.
Really?
It is the worst tourist attraction.
It's still there?
That's another story. It's like a boulder. It's like, just picture a boulder outside of like some industrial park complex, and
They just decided that was Plymouth Rock, because I always thought of it like just a landing point, not a specific rock.
No, it's a rock. It's a boulder. It's and Maya, I'll never live this down. We were doing our New England seafood tour, and I was like, oh, we can go to Salem, or we can go to see Plymouth Rock. And Maya's like, oh, let's go to Salem. And I was like, no, let's go to Plymouth Rock. She would always trust your wife, because Plymouth Rock don't waste your time. I did get a good lobster roll at a shanty next to Plymouth Rock, but the attraction itself, the most underwhelming.
That's what I've heard. I've never seen it.
Would you rather go back to Plymouth Rock or check out the Grand Canyon?
Ooh, the lobster roll was good. I'll go back to Plymouth Rock. I really don't want to go to the Grand Canyon. I really don't want to be stuck in traffic. That's why we provide updates for you 24/7. Let's say hello and good morning to Alex Williams.
Hey, good morning, buddy. You're only going to be stuck in slow traffic if you're heading outbound into DeKalb, 20 eastbound. That's due to left lane construction just past Panola Road, exit 71. Brake lights find you right around Wesley Chapel Road. In Gwinnett County, there's right lane construction, 316 eastbound at High Hope Road, and 75 southbound. The right lane's a little slow in Cobb County, just trying to ramp onto I-285 there near Truist Park. Traffic brought to you by Total Joint Specialist. Is hip or knee pain slowing you down? Find relief with internationally renowned hip and knee care right here in Georgia. Visit TotalJointSpecialist.com today and get back to doing what you love. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
It doesn't have to be like this.
You don't have to put up with it.
Shutting down the ramp from 285 east.
You don't have to sit in it.
It takes almost 30 minutes to go 400 south.
And you don't have to look at your phone to get out of it.
It is Atlanta traffic, and getting you out of it is what we do best.
We had a lot going on this morning through Henry County.
Updated traffic as often as you need it from local traffic reporters 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It's a jackknife tractor trailer.
Triple team traffic.
95.5 WSB.
How Atlanta gets there.
Football season and True Atlanta Fashion Renters Warehouse going big by stuffing 24 football puns in one ad. Hope your radio's got good reception, folks. Now huddle up and listen to their pitch. If you manage your own rental property, time to sack yourself and bring in backups, because giving the ball to Renters Warehouse Atlanta a much better option. Tired of fumbling around, playing defense, and penalizing your family by working overtime? They've got the playbook for success. So just hand off your property management to them and kick back while they tackle the grunt work. Their special teams know how to handle the details and help you avoid the unnecessary roughness of managing a rental. They'll screen your tenants, make sure you receive the rent on time, and help you move maintenance calls to the sidelines. One extra point: once you see how Renters Warehouse Atlanta makes property management a snap, your happiness will spike. Don't take a knee. Take control. Go to rwatlanta.com today or call 404-662-2322. That's 404-662-2322. And that is good for Renters Warehouse Atlanta.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed right here on 95.5 WSB. Well, Chris, as you know, time just keeps on ticking. We're putting another year under our belt, so it seems like a really good time to take stock of our financial lives and put together that plan that's built to last.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in, will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. we think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner at A1 Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. Call A1 Garage Door Service, and you'll be smiling today.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Scott Slade here to talk to you about your health, and I think it's real important to talk about what is most likely to kill you. Heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans, and the older we get, the more prevalent it is. But you can reduce your risk. Eat right, don't smoke, exercise, and be informed about what's going on in your own body. Like lots of potentially serious health problems, if you catch heart disease early, you vastly increase your chances of living a longer life. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging scans take less than 10 minutes and screen with 98% accuracy for heart disease. Other scans, including brain and full body, are available too. Virtual imaging is locally owned and operated in Atlanta for over 15 years, so they can make you this terrific offer. A complimentary heart scan for you and your spouse with a few minimum requirements. So don't put this off. I've done it. Call Virtual Imaging today for your free heart scan. 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-7226. Or visit their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
The Original Mattress Factory wants to help elevate your sleep experience this holiday season. We'll be giving away a queen-size adjustable bed set in our Comfort and Joy raffle. When paired with our hand-built mattresses, our premium adjustable beds make everyday activities like reading and watching TV in bed more comfortable. Visit any OMF location by December 18th to enter and for all official rules. No purchase is necessary to win. The Original Mattress Factory, bringing you tidings of comfort and joy this holiday season.
We'll let a horse in here. Mike, we got this trash spin prize wheel. You might as well bring a horse into the studio. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show, 11:25. Real quick, Vinny's done doing his Vinny stuff. I just want to know, Vinny, the original Star Wars movie that came out in 1977, it's on TBS a million times. Vinny, have you ever seen the original Star Wars?
Is he even in there?
He's gone again.
No.
He's like a jumping bean.
I don't know where he went.
You can't. He's trying to get his steps in. Anyway, I asked him. He said he has not seen the original.
Yeah,
Star
he has
Wars.
not seen it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't even blame Vinny.
I don't think that's a Vinny type movie.
But I blame his dad. Like, his dad's my age. Like, if I had a
His dad made
son,
him watch Ferris Bueller.
yes, Star Wars. I mean, just the references, to the Jedi
Yeah, but see,
mind
the
trick.
girls wouldn't want to watch, Star Wars if I tried to show it to
Not
them.
even the Ewoks.
No, I tried to show them Christine, the old,
The key word you said there is try.
She was like, "This is not scary."
The
Like
key
back
word
in the
there
day
is
it was.
try, Longoria. You're like, if I tried
Just
to
force
show
them.
Exactly. You say, this is the movie night in the Longoria house. We are
Yeah.
watching Star Wars.
Okay.
No, you're watching Trolls again.
Strong feminine lead in Princess Leia.
And
Yeah.
Queen Amidala, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't even blame Vinny for not watching. I blame his dad, Papa Vinny.
Vinny Sr., yeah.
Yeah, Vinny Sr. No, I'm not even going to go there. Where did he go?
I think he's eating the cake.
What is going on with this guy? Thanks to Edie, by the way, dropping off her infamous banana pudding
and
cake.
the Christmas card.
And the Christmas card. Very sweet, Edie. Did she get a Christmas card?
Yes, she did.
Okay,
I
good.
double-checked
All right,
for her,
Good,
yes.
good. By the way, if you have not yet received your Christmas card from the Mark Arum Show, keep an eye on your mailbox. They're starting to come in. And if you get them, make sure you tag me on social media so I know that we are spreading the holiday cheer in the correct location. Speaking of Christmas, need your help on Clark's Christmas Kids. You can donate now at WSBradio.com. Refreshing the website. We still need 18,627 gifts. Yikes, that's a big number. News, weather, and traffic in 3. When we come back, what's the deal with this Netflix merger? Josh Sisko from Bloomberg News, live next on The Mark Arum Show.
He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Oh,
okay, things you can do on your deck. You can grill on your deck. You can have a hot tub on your deck. You can spend time with friends on your deck. You can... Oh, wait, what? You don't have a deck, or you'd like a nicer deck? I get it. You want just the right deck for you. You know, you need Ben Hill Renovations. Dave Baker here. Ben Hill Renovations have over 60 years experience building just the right deck, offering superior craftsmanship and a high quality of work while delivering your perfect deck built within your budget. They offer many options, different styles, different decking materials, different colors and finishes. Not sure what you like? Visit their showroom in Douglasville and see all your choices with your own eyes. And every Ben Hill deck is built up to code and backed by the Ben Hill Renovations Workmanship Warranty. You live life on your deck. Visit bhrenovations.com today and schedule a free design consultation at your home. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Because we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see lots of lawyers' ads. Most seem to be bragging on results, but are they true or misleading? For example, in some cases, a firm may try a case even though the at-fault party has no lawyer, then brag in the ad about their results. My son Matt got one for nearly $50 million, but we never collected one dime. Some lawyers may say they got a result even though they were sitting second chair at a firm like mine, and even though they had little to do with it. Happens all the time. All that glitters is not gold. At Morgan & Morgan, our results are real. Visit forthepeople.com and go to settlements and verdicts to see for yourself what your case may be worth before you hire a law firm. Do your homework. Fact check. It's easy and too important not to. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Whether it's a slip that ends in a slip disc, a trick knee that's holding you back, or shoulder pain hurting your game, you can count on Northside Hospital Orthopedics. With leading care in Georgia at convenient locations all across the state, we're here to get you back on your feet, no matter what comes your way. Because Georgia moves us, and we keep Georgia moving. Find a provider near you at northside.com/ortho. That's northside.com/ORTHO.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter. Give a gift that moves. The Lexus December to Remember sales event is on now at Butler Lexus South Atlanta. Exceptional offers through January 5th. Butler Lexus South Atlanta, the standard of amazing.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's news and talk.
It is 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by Main Street Auto. Happening right now, Atlanta police looking for clues after a man in his 30s is found shot and killed on Cornell Boulevard in southwest Atlanta. The body was found near a parked car. Homicide investigators working right now to determine the circumstances surrounding the shooting, including a motive. No word on a possible suspect. Anybody with information being asked to call Crime Stoppers this morning. Your weather for today, mostly cloudy, breezy. It's going to dry out. Highs around 46. Some of those winds, though, gusting up to 20 miles an hour. Accused United Healthcare CEO killer Luigi Mangione has returned to a New York City courtroom today for another pretrial hearing. His lawyers trying to get key evidence tossed out of the trial. Meanwhile, prosecutors releasing new evidence related to the case. Photographs of a handwritten note, a bus ticket, a pocket knife, clothing, and what appears to be a shopping list. Defense lawyers are trying to get evidence tossed from that trial because they claim that Mangione's rights were violated during his arrest in Pennsylvania. Governor Kemp and the First Lady, Marty Kemp, lighting the Capitol Christmas tree inside the rotunda this morning.
3, 2, 1. Oh, Merry Christmas.
Governor Kemp says lighting the tree marks the start of a busy season for many, but it's more than that.
It's also a reminder of the meaning of the season, the birth of our Savior, and good overcoming evil.
And that massive 26-foot red cedar tree was donated by a family in Lindale, Georgia. A poll by the American Psychiatric Association shows more than 40% of U.S. adults expect to feel more stress this holiday season than last year. Clinical psychologist Carrie Ditzel says in order to help your mental health during the holiday season, you may have to say no to certain things.
Take a minute to think about what you really want to do.
what is worth changing your routine for? Which party, which person is going to bring you joy and it's worth the stress or the disruption?
The poll also shows nearly half of adults say that they are worried about missing someone or grief this holiday season. Nearly half also say they're worried about affording or finding holiday gifts. A pair of trail projects designed to improve mobility in Tucker up for a vote tonight.
Tucker's long-planned 2.5-mile North Lake Trail would link downtown Tucker to the North Lake Mall area with a cost of about $20 million, much of which is potentially covered by federal grants. The city also seeking funding from the Atlanta Regional Commission for the first phase from 2nd Street to Brockett Road. A second proposed trail from Hugh Howell Road to the South Fork Peachtree Greenway has an estimated budget of $6.5 million. Both trail items are on tonight's consent agenda with the meeting starting at 7 p.m. Graham Kell, 95.5 WSB.
As we take a look at your money, the markets, Dow, NASDAQ, S&P are all in negative territory. It's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, Sabrina, got a new crash up in Ackworth. Left lane taken out here. 75 northbound, Highway 92, exit 277. Brake lights filling in behind that, back toward Wade Green Road. And the construction continues into Cobb County. That's in the left lane, 20 eastbound, just past Panola Road, exit 71. That's why you're slow from Wesley Chapel Road. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Cloudy, drizzly, and breezy today, high 46. Clear and cold tonight as temperatures fall into the low 30s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, high 49. Sunshine and warming up on Wednesday to the mid-50s.
It is 46 degrees right now in Canton and Sugar Hill. Monroe, you have 48 degrees. We'll have more news at noon. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
When you need to know.
This story is developing in Atlanta.
When you want to know.
Severe weather is on its way.
When you have to know.
We'll alert you as soon as this closure clears.
Get notifications
from your source for news.
Get the WSB radio app.
Download it from your app store today.
I have zero plans, zero desire to run for president.
Marjorie Taylor Greene saying she has no future political ambitions. President Trump now responding on social media about that interview on 60 Minutes. I'll tell you what he had to say. But coming up next, the latest on the possible Netflix merger. Straight ahead on The Mark Arum Show.
Some friends one time sent my wife and me Omaha steaks for Christmas, and they sent it to our old house. We had moved out of it and not yet sold it. Went to the house. I could smell the steak before I saw it. Didn't know who sent it to me. Called Omaha Steaks. Not only did they send me a brand new package to my house, they told me who had sent it to me so I could send a thank you note. It was incredible customer service. And I've been sending gifts from Omaha Steaks because how great their customer service is ever since. You can get the Sizzle All the Way sale right now, 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com, and you get an extra $35 off with promo code ERICK, E-R-I-C-K, at checkout. You can get incredible options. My wife began her love affair of caramel apple tartlets with that package. Omaha Steaks sent to us. You can too. Get the fillets, get the New York strips. omahasteaks.com, 50% off right now. The Sizzle All the Way sale, $35 off extra with promo code ERICK at checkout. Minimum order required. omahasteaks.com.
I'm so excited to hear my son's band play tonight. They've been, be right back. They've been rehearsing, bathroom break. Overactive bladder can mean missing out on life's moments, navigating life around the nearest bathroom instead of the next experience. Medtronic therapies have treated nearly 500,000 people worldwide with bladder or bowel control problems. Let Medtronic show you what's possible. Visit medtronic.com/bladderhelp to learn how.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now, the company's changed. Or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So, what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan today. 404-208-3300. That's 404-208-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. See website for details.
11:36 on the Mark Arum Show. Oh, I hit it just in time. Coming up in just a little bit, President Trump's reaction to Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene's interview on 60 Minutes. But right now, I want to get an update on a story that I think will impact the majority of us here, especially those that stream incessantly like I do. Joining us from Bloomberg News, covering the Netflix deal, the possibility of the deal, Josh Cisco. Josh, good morning. Thanks so much for your time.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
This story started popping up. So before we get into could this actually happen, what actually has been proposed?
So Netflix on Friday formally announced its deal with Warner Brothers Discover for somewhere, I think, between $70 and $80 billion.
That's a big number. That's a big number.
It's a pretty big number, yeah.
Now, is this...
It's one of the biggest.
Is this like a hostile takeover, or are they in discussions with Warner Brothers?
So the Netflix deal is not a hostile takeover. The Netflix deal is the culmination of a several-week or more bidding process between Netflix, Paramount, which is backed by the Ellisons, and Comcast, and Netflix emerged as the winner on late Thursday night, and it was announced Friday morning. But since then, today, Paramount has put in its own bid in the start of a potential hostile takeover.
So another county heard from, if you will. How did Paramount get involved in this?
Well, Paramount's been involved since throughout the bidding process, and they actually were the ones that kind of kicked this off after Skydance bought Paramount and CBS. They went shopping for Warner Brothers and put in several bids that weren't taken, and then that kicked off a formal bidding process that then added in Netflix and Comcast. And Paramount is sort of the scorned bidder in this process. They thought they had the inside track, in part because of their White House connections. Warner Brothers went with Netflix and were in the middle of like a red-hot takeover fight.
So, Josh, you cover antitrust issues for Bloomberg. Let's get to this, the feasibility of this actually coming to fruition.
I mean, any deal for Warner Brothers Discover is going to take a long time. The Justice Department, which would review it, is going to spend probably a year or more reviewing any offer. A Netflix bid takes on some obvious antitrust concerns. They're the biggest streaming company by far. They have roughly 30% market share. They would be buying HBO Max as part of this deal, which is not one of the biggest. The other two biggest are Amazon and Disney, but the number one buying the number four is traditionally problematic under the antitrust laws, and so that would tee up a big fight. Also, the unions, the sort of Hollywood unions, the Writers Guild and such, are pretty opposed to a Netflix deal.
I would imagine,
so there could be some labor issues. So,
Josh,
as sort of a buyer of labor, that could be a problem.
Would this be like similar to if our hometown airline Delta bought Southwest Airlines, right? That big of a market share we're talking about?
The market shares on here, for depending on how you slice the market, which will be a big part of the fight, I think would give Netflix roughly mid-40s in the streaming market. Maybe low 40s, and so that's not exactly a monopoly, but it's entrenching its already sort of leading position, and there's anything over a 30% market share is kind of presumptively illegal on its face under the antitrust laws. So that would be the main area of concern with a Netflix bid.
Josh Cisco from Bloomberg News joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. President Trump commented on this possible merger yesterday at the Kennedy Center. Can we read anything for what the president said, whether he is going to, try to forcefully... Oh, we just lost Josh Cisco. Josh had enough of us. Can you call him back, Vin? See if we can get... I just had a couple more follow-ups. While we're waiting for Josh to get back on, I mentioned this to Maya yesterday. What's your number one app for streaming that you go to more than any other?
Hulu.
Hulu, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Just because you like the shows on Hulu better?
Yeah, and there's a lot of international stuff. I tend to sway that way, yeah.
So for me, it's Netflix. And it's not just what is provided on Netflix. It's the ease of use. Like there's a lot of good stuff on Amazon, but they're
Yeah,
the
Amazon's the
interface
clunkiest
it's
one.
so
Yeah.
clunky.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, maybe I got
Yeah.
to start doing more Hulu. If you are into Hulu, then
They have more TV than movies, I will say. Netflix has more movies, but I like a lot of the international
Yeah,
random
same.
shows. Yes, that's why.
By the
watch
way,
it.
someone asked me, I recommended Patriot, the television show for you. Not the movie The Patriot from Mel Gibson. It's the TV show Patriot. We got Josh Cisco back on here. Josh, sorry about that, or were you done with me?
No, all good. I'm not sure, but I'm happy to talk more.
All right,
Pretty
just a
interesting
couple of quick
situation.
follow-ups. I know you folks at Bloomberg are very busy here. President Trump, did he indicate if he was going to try to stop this on Sunday?
He didn't say that he would try to stop it, but he did say that it presents like a host of what he called market power concerns, and I think just objectively that will be an issue. I mean, Netflix kind of has an uphill battle in trying to win over Justice Department approval for this deal. Trump did say in a sort of very Trumpian fashion that he's going to be involved in the process, which is not typically how it works, and he didn't really explain what that means. But I think there's going to be sort of a lot of political considerations here as well as this plays out, especially now that that Skydance Paramount has put in its own hostile bid.
Yeah, a little battle there. All right, final question for you, Josh. The listeners, how if this deal goes through, how could this impact the listeners that enjoy Netflix and HBO Max? Could we see our rates increase, decrease? How does it affect the average person listening?
I mean, it's hard to say what exactly will happen in terms of prices. Netflix has steadily increased prices in the last number of years, I think, to the chagrin of its customers. I'm sure there'll be some sort of bundled offering that includes Netflix and HBO Max. Whether that will probably be more than a typical Netflix subscription, I would guess, but I don't know exactly how it will impact prices. But I think that is the fear that anytime you have sort of more market power, you have more ability to raise prices.
Do you have any streaming recommendations, Josh? What are you watching these days?
I just watched. This is not on Netflix, but on Apple TV. I'm drawing a blank on the name now, and I'm
Slow
on the
Horses.
Spot. Yes, Slow
Yeah.
Horses.
How great is that
last
show?
Season, it's incredible, man. I binged the whole thing in a day.
Yeah,
highly recommend.
Indeed. All right, Josh Cisco, Bloomberg. Josh, thanks so much for your time, my friend.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
There
Take
you
care.
go. All right, so I did watch another documentary, Deborah, over the weekend. I watched the Diddy one for the show. And it was worth the time.
For the show, yes.
I also watched the Ben Stiller documentary on Apple.
Oh, how is that?
Disappointing.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Then I might not watch it.
Yeah. It's about his parents. Like
Oh,
Stiller
see, I think I
and
would
Mara.
like that, yeah.
I have expectations because I'm such a fan of Jerry Stiller and Ann Mara. I have expectations because I'm such a fan of Jerry Stiller and Ann Mara.
Oh, it is Festivus season, isn't it?
It is coming up on Festivus, but I wouldn't 100%. I'm not recommending you watch it. If you have time, do it.
You need something to watch, maybe.
Set your expectations low. All right, real quick, we talked about the World Cup selection. We got clarification right after we get off the air on Friday. No comment on the on
the draw,
on the
yes.
show itself. But did we find out who is going to be playing in Atlanta?
A couple of matches set. So June 15th, we're going to have Spain versus Cabo Verde, and I believe that's the first time in a long time that
Spain versus who?
Cape. What is it? Yeah, Cabo Verde, Cape
Okay,
Green, right?
Cape
It's
Verde.
off of Africa.
Oh,
Off
okay.
the west coast.
I
of
never heard it
Africa.
pronounced like that. All right.
I think that's it's Portuguese, so Cabo
Okay.
Verde. Yeah. June 18th, it depends on who the winner is. You got to find out who the winner of the first round of matches is. That winner will take on South Africa. So it's either Denmark, Czechoslovakia, or Ireland.
Okay, but the United States not playing in Atlanta, though.
No, unfortunately, no U.S.
But that's
games
actually
here.
probably good for our economy.
Maybe.
That we're going to have all these Denmarkians and Cape Verdeans coming.
Spanish. Yep. Spain versus Saudi Arabia is on June 21st.
Oh, you know what we're going to do? Barcelona,
Can we get
the
scarves?
tapas bar.
Scarves?
Oh, we'll get scarves.
Okay.
But the tapas bar, I think Barcelona. Barcelona. Let's make a reservation now. Let's book it completely, and then we'll sell
watch
the
party?
reservations.
Okay.
Although I guess Spanish people coming into Atlanta are going to be like, we don't want your crappy tapas. We want American food.
we'll have American food too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any other headlines?
June 24th is Morocco versus Haiti. And then the last one we get here until we find out the next round is Uzbekistan versus either Jamaica or I don't remember the Cote d'Ivoire, I think.
Okay.
Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I love the pronunciation there. You learn something new every day from Deborah here on the Mark Arum Show. Let's learn if you need to take an alternate route on these roadways. 1147 of the Mark Arum Show. Checking the ride around town. It's Alex Williams.
No alternate routes needed right now, Mark. A little better news in Ackworth. Crash on 75 northbound at Highway 92, exit 277. That now sits on the left shoulder. All lanes are back open. Some lingering delays, though, back into Kennesaw. Still got the left lane construction into DeKalb County. I-20 eastbound Panola Road, exit 71. Slow in the ride as you head out to Lithonia and the mall at Stonecrest. And right lane construction in Gwinnett County, 316 eastbound at High Hope Road. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
When we came up with the idea for Clark's Christmas Kids 35 years ago, I told myself we were going to help every foster child across the state. But we need your help. To find out how you can make a child's Christmas wishes come true, visit WSBRadio.com.
A special thanks to our friends at Scana Energy, Rocco's European Garage, and Finlay Roofing for their continued support of Clark's Christmas Kids.
The end of the year is near. Still looking for a way to spread holiday cheer? Visit TommyNobisCenter.org and watch them tow your vehicle out of sight. Help place someone with disabilities in a job that's just right. When you donate your car, truck, or van to Tommy Nobis Center, you're helping people with disabilities find meaningful employment and achieve their dreams. Join us in spreading joy and creating brighter futures. Together, we can drive change this holiday season. Visit TommyNobisCenter.org to make your tax-deductible donation of cars or cash today.
Hey guys, are you striking out in the bedroom? Because pills like Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra just don't work anymore. Here's how Choice Men's Health is solving PE and ED issues. Meet Dr. Katz, the expert in men's health.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Choice Men's Health offers safe, custom-blended medications designed to fit your needs. There is no pain or surgery. It doesn't matter how old you are or if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues. Not a problem. It's safe and affordable for everyone. You'll see results in 15 minutes guaranteed, or you don't pay anything. Solve the problem of ED and PE now.
For a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are free. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170. To claim your initial consultation and first treatment for free. Call Choice Men's Health now. 404-400-1170.
Picture it, your holiday table. The family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps. This season at Kroger, make the moments that matter possible with quality that's affordable in every aisle. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 6-packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
So you're losing your hair and you need a simple solution that works, but you want the best. It's Mark Arum here. Modern technology, top-rated physicians. You want something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair's completely redefined hair restoration, from the experience itself to the unmatched results they produce. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, address them all with a simple one-day treatment in a calm, relaxed environment with experienced pros. Advanced Hair has performed tens of thousands of breakthrough advanced FUE treatments, and get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. No one else in Atlanta can offer the advanced FUE found at Advanced Hair. Fix your hair loss today, starting with your free consultation, and you'll also get $500 off if you move forward. Call 470-660-HAIR. Refine your hairline with the team that's redefined hair restoration. And don't forget to ask about that Advanced Hair Guarantee, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where a small box with a burgundy bow will help you win the holidays. As an in-house designer, I love creating meaningful, fine jewelry gifts. Choose a necklace with a gorgeous infinity charm to symbolize your everlasting love. Or go for a personalized piece with an engraving, their zodiac sign, favorite color gemstone, or their initial accented with pave diamonds. Because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Stop by or shop now at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory.
While everyone's focused on diet and exercise this new year, let's talk about the foundation of all health, sleep. Quality sleep strengthens your immune system, improves mental clarity, and helps regulate weight. Yet, we spend more time researching a TV purchase than our mattress. Your sleep affects every resolution you make this year. Visit the Original Mattress Factory and discover how the right mattress can support every health goal you've set for yourself.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Who's the McFriendliest fellow in town? Who's our McFavorite hamburger clown?
Ronald McDonald.
Aye, aye, your captainship.
We be all out of McDonald's filet fish sandwiches. We better get some.
Aye, aye, sir.
That's a McDonald's commercial from 1975 touting what is probably a newer item back in 75, the Filet-O-Fish sandwich. It is a favorite of yours truly, Mark Aram. I know Longoria will enjoy a filet of fish or two, especially as we come upon Lent. The mystery has been solved, Longoria, why there's only half a slice of cheese.
Oh, I didn't know
on
there
the
was
filet of fish. I just thought it was a cost-saving method. Like,
Yeah, I know
someone's
they're
like,
just trying to,
no one's going to check under the bun
Yeah.
to see if it's a. That's not the reason they say at McDonald's. Deborah.
You're not the only one that's been wondering, why am I only getting half a slice of cheese? Well, the representative for McDonald's came forward and says, we only use half a slice of cheese because that's the exact perfect balance for the tangy tartar sauce and the crispness of the Filet-O-Fish coating.
Baloney.
Yeah, who came up with that?
It's a half the sandwich is cheeseless. Half the sandwich is cheeseless.
Do you put extra cheese on it when you order it?
No.
They
'cause-
said that you can customize
Yeah,
it.
of course, but I don't want to cause any more grief to the.
Well, I'm just
the
saying
folks at
maybe
the-
it'll taste different, and then you'll realize, no, half was right.
I doubt it.
Because even the
More cheese, the
president
better.
hasn't been able to have them add the extra tartar sauce that
I
he
know.
wanted.
I have asked for extra tartar sauce, but some places will put a pound on it, and
You
you
said
never
extra.
know. Yeah. Now I'm hankering for a fillet of fish now. Dag nabbit.
I want one. I never had it.
You've never had a fillet of fish, Vinny?
Well,
Not from
I know what you
McDonald's.
guys are doing.
Yeah, we're going to McDonald's, getting fillet of fish, and then I'm going to make you watch
Breaking
Star
news
Wars.
that he's never had it.
Yeah,
That's a be.
All right, Vinny, we'll do it after the show.
Heard.
Longoria's fact of the day.
All right, today is National Brownie Day. And brownies originated in the U.S. in the late 1800s, possibly created for the 1893 Chicago World's Fair by pastry chefs at the Palmer House Hotel, requesting a portable chocolate treat with walnuts and apricot glaze. Early recipes were more like cake, or molasses bars.
Where was this restaurant? The Palmer? Does it say
The Palmer House Hotel in Chicago.
Chicago?
obviously,
Oh, all right. You go, Chi-Town. You've got a really underrated brownie, Jersey Mike's.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they do this thing on. This is foreign to you, Deborah, on Uber Eats. If you order $15 or more on Uber Eats, Jersey Mike's, they throw in a turkey sub for free. So I always have to add additional stuff to my sandwich to get the free.
Right.
So I'll often do chips, and then that leaves you like 17 cents short of the free sandwich, and then I throw in the brownie. And it's so rich, you can have it twice, like 2 dessert brownie.
Right.
All right. Anyway, shout out. I'm not paid by Jersey Mike's. Just how that. That's a pretty good deal.
Now,
though.
are you guys ready for the Mark Aram Star of the
All right,
Show?
Jackie Brammer brought me in a fresh Jamaican beef patty before the show. What a delicious breakfast. Thank you, Jackie. Smiling taught Shelly how to take proper selfies. So we'll give Smiling. We'll see if it sticks, Smiling. But Smiling Mark McKay. I'm giving one to Dale Murphy. He got screwed by the Hall of Fame Veterans Committee. Only got 6 votes. He and Don Mattingly missed out. I feel so bad. Dale Murphy deserves it. Murph, you're always a Hall of Famer in our minds. Vinny, no. Vinny, you were incognito. Yeah, you were a jumping bean today. Let's see. Aaron Navarro from CBS, Stephen Portnoy from ABC, Eric Erickson, who's coming up next. He gets the star of the show. And Josh Sisko, not once but twice, from Bloomberg News. And Longoria called me Jabba the Hutt. So
that deserves one.
Yeah, I'll give you. And Deborah had to watch me eat a Jamaican beef patty, so I'll give one to her. So everyone but me and Vin today. Me and Vin. Vin and I. All right, social medias up and active at Mark Arum throughout the day. MarkArum. And good luck, Sanjay, up at the Cherokee main event. I'll be railing you digitally. Have a great day. Safe Monday.